Hello, welcome to episode 6 of the Zombie Apocalypse, where we unveil the illusion that holds the populace in a deadened state, and we are here to resurrect ourselves. My name is Geri from godislovetruthlife.com. I'll pass it to you, Darin.
My name is Darin, also known as Boutros Anarchy and Sovereign Cyborg 93 on YouTube. And buckle up.
Svyatoslav.
Greetings, I am the Slav Squatch from the forests of the north, and I am here to discuss matters near and far, deep and shallow even, I don't know. But yeah, I'm here, very glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on again with us. And Jeff.
I'm Jeff Hammond, and welcome to the Zombie Apocalypse. So we'll be revealing the truth to shatter illusions and stop all you out there for being zombies who still are zombies. And to do that, we're gonna continue today talking about the methods of mind control that the dark occultists are using to keep the population in a state of thrall. So we were talking about the worldview poisoning, and it's such a big topic. It's like the views of the world on everything. Like religions are not there to reveal the true secrets of spirituality. They're trying to hide them from people. The government is not trying to protect people. It's actually trying to hurt people just to perpetuate their position of authority, so they can continue stealing and enslaving. The fact that it's that we use the word government is total worldview poisoning. It's stopping us from realizing that the whole situation humanity is in a situation of slavery. It's not recognized as slavery because it's called government. We've got the media to tell people whatever the society engineers want us to believe, once we have the wrong idea about everything, how everything works, our mind is like figurative putty in the hands of the mind controllers to form it into whatever they want. And how they accomplish this worldview poisoning is the combination of all the other of the 14 methods. And it's been going on for so long that it's since before the history that we've recorded. So it's been done so thoroughly. But once that's done, it's done by using the other methods. But once it is done, it makes the other methods so much more effective. And we're going to get into the next method, maybe the next couple of methods in this episode. I think the next one on the list we wanted to talk about is going to be, unless anyone else has anything more to say about the worldview poisoning.
Well, I'll say that we have a track here, and I'm sharing an artist that totally knows about this stuff and has been talking about it since the late 90s, early 2000s. I've met him personally and, have developed a friendship with him. And he spits it out in a great way, and he's got a nice graphic here for his album. I purchased a hard copy. I suggest everybody does. And he gives a description paragraph too, describing the strange looking graphic there.
It is a cool album cover. I was checking it out earlier. I haven't listened to the music yet. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Darin, can you play us a song that you think really represents their sound?
Yeah, is that your screen being shared right now?
I believe it is yours.
Okay, so then it should work fine. Let me know if you have any issues hearing it.
Audio's not working, bro.
No.
I can see
Let me see.
the movement of the little
here we go.
icon.
Not a word
Start from the beginning, please.
but of things
Okay, you can
that you
hear
could
it
not
now.
express.
Yes.
All right, there we go.
Follow the yellow brick road.
It's strange
It's strange.
how some printed words can evoke emotion.
It's strange. It's strange.
You live in a different world. Not a world of words, but of things that you cannot express.
But of things that you cannot express. But of things
Wow.
that you cannot express.
What the hell? What does it mean?
Seems almost a message coming from space.
And do you think there's extraterrestrials out there? What? Do you think there's? I've been asked that question hundreds of times. Do you believe in aliens? And I say, yeah. Have you ever seen one? I say, yeah, I have. Well, how have you seen them? Well, I said, I look in the mirror every morning. Because that's what we are.
So I just wanted to read.
That was good. Keep playing it.
Keep playing it? Okay, this is the next track, Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, you
It's
stopped
great.
right when the song began.
Lucid recurring dreams, more Lemurian genes, absolute words supreme, Kundalini serpentine, home sit a wizard, Cobra Naga slither, golden never wither, cold, chillin' blizzard on my wave like a photon, outer space doggone, upgrade my codons, Hail Mary gold long, check the weed farmer, bless Washington, Carver, connect with Green Tarbor, slick as a sea otter. Stacks like Mount Builders, attack like sound killers, black life ground tiller. Facts I now filter, young Horus never grown up, spun Taurus like a donut from source. A nigga showed up, supported by the yoga. Serpents of wisdom serving the chrism, purging the vision, the rugs are Persian. Nigga listen, I notice every feature of Gnosis and Sophia and focus on the ether potion up in my beaker. Not offended nor defensive, I bless it. And like the chalice with the hemp wick, fire and water applied on the altar, guide with the halter. I'm not signing they offers, smoking up an echelon and yoking the hexagon, invoking the hexapon foes with my lexicon.
Watch the clouds burst beneath flapping of my wings. A man of ambition, he is capable of anything. Infinite probability, amplitudes rippling through time to change fate with choices made through an infinite mind. I extol my virtue, so fear my resolve. Refuse to be a slave forgotten by history, I'm a god. And your tongue staggers without purpose, sounding like a parrot repeating another's burden. I invoke torrential Whack-em seas in tireless pursuits as the game awaits total slaughter. Spit fire in the boot, you sound tired, my youth, be well fed. And all the crumbs slap you in the head with my blade. The sage is a god, son, grasping the heavens, and I'm certain of victory. Bring the iron rod as reward and forge self to infinity. The brightest lights cast the darkest shadows, falling in the light of day to take shape and leave you baffled. Properly harness strength, keep all my movements hidden. Rip the shackles from your brains with bare hands. We true and living, y'all dudes is tripping. Pull your head out of your ass. Lord Abba, the master builders, and you can't study the math. You treacherous fucks, we'll meet your fucking doom. Part the head from your shoulders and reverse the sun and the moon.
Whoa.
King, yeah. Rhymes wake up the blind, third eye shine with divine light of a neutron star. Reptilian crackle a nigga bone like croutons. Supreme team of diverse multiverse spitters. Body snatching microphones, glorious and glorious warriors of the fifth kind.
The special lab. Dynamic with the virtuoso stilos. Just a flip to spin around in the pipe position. 360-degree rotation on the vinyl. It's elementary how I break the back of a breakbeat. Spinal.
Subliminal mental conditioning, reprogramming all listeners who listen.
Yo, way beyond your earthlings, there's no competition. Talking to ugly, man, to flip my disposition. My posture be immaculate, the master of style. Shevchenko couldn't tell me nothing now. My vocal flexibility be at the max.
Perplex, suplex, hardcore onyx, dark crystal, dark phoenix. Massive builders reappear when the entire hip-hop universe needs us. With the snap of a finger, all that needs to be destroyed shall be destroyed.
Supreme balance and lyrical gymnastics, master of the verbal tactics, acrobatic, grab the mic and bust your areola soul. There ain't no parallel bars. The God defy the law of physics, universal mystic, keep them prolific for the less fortunate minds. I take them on a ride through the cosmos to show them that they know nothing. You can't avoid the noise.
Deploy grand arsenals, majestic 12 majestical with no spacesuits. Breathing the ethers within the deep endless void. Brothers keeper as always for the immortals with all the end of days.
Damn! That was lit. That was so fucking good. The music was amazing.
You want me to pause it?
It was very. Oh, is it still the same song?
It's the next track called
Let's process
Upon Mental Ascension.
Lyrical weapon, reverse technology, sound found in alien ships, the Pleiadian speds, sound waves, phenomena, and all types of style beat, like an atom in 115 elements. My style don't exist on the periodic table that is known to man. I'm beyond Pythagoras, a mathematician. Breaking hemlock, ease the pain, spit a universe, puffing on a poisonous herb.
Wu-Tang, like, remember?
Microphone examiner, master builders in a ghost flyer, and surf a comet rocking a baccalaureate, Nordic top of human attire. Picture that with the L format, audio crack, top of wet black attack, jumping to hold a fat ass with that obesity.
Obedient, all sequences subdued, militant for eons, been paid dues. Love to see you pussies take a walk in my shoes. For some that make it on the 10 o'clock news. Rituals can be habitual, divine script. Hardcore but always uplift, no pit stops. Representing and vetting the L, centrifugal force. Artificial can't handle it, bystanders get vexed. Truth set a nigga free from turmoil. Spoils of war, always a splendor by far. Earth is a Death Star, the genocide is real. Remember, members only, America KKK. Hey, it's all white privilege. At the line of scrimmage, pigs in riot gear. Let's do this, man up, my nigga, have no fear. Fight back, fight to the death. Fuck black on black crimes, point them nines at one time. Also, these racist cocksuckers that deserve the worst. At times, it's just best to fight fire with fire.
I thought you guys are dancing. What the fuck?
Naive and corrupt subjects that no one really gives a fuck to hear discuss. Social unjust, naive and corrupt subjects that no one really gives a fuck to hear discuss. You tuck your chain, I tuck my pistol. You rap for fame and attention, I rap to free your brain upon mental ascension. Plus it's spiritual, much as it's physical.
Devil in the detail, bone crushing glitches in the matrix, other levels that I see well. Blending desperado, squeeze your throat until your tips swell. Middle finger scratching booty so the tip smells. Drying vomit from melting witch, collecting eggshells. Dragging on piano wire, lighting all the keys on fire. El Diablo, Rip Collabo, bought peyote seeds from Pablo. Making jello shots to toss, exploding at Gustavo. Metropolis so hollow as a pretty girl in gangbangs. American vicious rebel flagging, kicking a hangman. Water chlorinated for vampire cleaning fangs. Lingering the damn ghost, swallowing the mayhem. Suspicions as beliefs, conspiracies, hard to take in. Alien evidence, genetic tempering of cavemen. Broken arrow engineers alone learn how to kill things. Cannibal slaughter, honoring God and offer more. Chiseled bones to points, filling temples for war. I adore the art we built from all the hate in our core. Forming an ultimatum of a god in our swords. Evolved from tigers, tracking sweat from our pores. To Gucci sandal wearing sons of bunch of bitches. The lizard blood reptilian kid ripped from your guts. With your fake ass shaking foam ready to bust. Went from sluts and uppercuts, settle and pussy we trust. Lust touching reach each and every single one of us. That's for nothing suffering, love can adjust. Just beloved me, love we nudge a barrel of sludge. Juggling nuts like hooker, suck on one of us.
He operated everything from here. Sonic waves from this organ transmitted electrical impulses to artificial monsters. They obeyed his every command.
They obeyed his every command.
You might say they were all tuned into a loony bin.
Where do you come from, Web One? And how did you get here?
Whoa, dude, that was so fucking fire. Thank you. Amazing.
Yeah, and most of his stuff is free, and I suggest, If you can,
You gotta support him.
I'll stop sharing my screen for now, I guess, because I don't need to.
Yeah, I think it's the type of music that actually could undo some mind control. I remember in the class, like Mark was talking about how, like, after like maybe a football game or something, or like he'll notice his family members like just watching something on TV in the background, and he'll say like, "Hey, pay attention to the message they're trying to communicate. It's some real satanic garbage." And they say, "Oh, I wasn't even listening to it. It's in the background. Just the football game ended and it came on." And he said that's even worse because you're not consciously discerning and realizing that it's all this satanic garbage. You're just hearing it with your subconscious in the background while you're doing something else, and your subconscious is gonna like take this message and use it to program you without you even being able to consciously think about it and reject it if it's something bad. And so this music that you're playing, it's pretty fast lyric. It's a lot to take in, but like I didn't catch everything consciously. But the stuff I did catch, it's like mostly like good positive stuff, or it might be some negative things, but they're actually positive because they're truth and they're just being revealed. But
It doesn't always make us feel good, but it's true.
But you know what? It's good to have music that you can have on in the background, because a lot of times people want to play something while they're doing something else constructive. If you have something that you just really have to pay close attention to, it could be a distraction. But I could see playing this, and it's like a relaxing kind of jazzy beat. It's like it'd be a nice environment to have it in the background and not even pay attention to it, but still catch it all subconsciously, or maybe listen to it a few times and catch all the lyrics. But
it is excellent. It is excellent in terms of the depth of the lyrics, also the lyricism. There was a lot of wordplay and like with rhythm and alliteration. That was neat. A lot of Wu-Tang vibes with the second track. The first track used a lot of like jazz elements, which was really fun, but it was in a repetitive way, which is not jazz-like, right? Because like jazz
it's
is all
loop,
in free form, but like he sort of like found that loop, that jazz loop. And as an intro, right? And so like the jazz rhythm was sort of like falling forward the whole time, like you're falling down into a sort of different reality. And with the Wizard of Oz audio, you're sort of being you're being funneled out of a metaphorical tornado into this knowledge.
Right.
What do you think? Shit.
Can't do it without the word written in front of you. Take some practice. I can't either.
Svyatoslav. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought that the lyrical value was real good. The beats were pretty good. I'm just like more into like other like music, more like I want to hear like stuff that's like really melodic and like refined, I guess.
Yeah.
These days.
Yeah, rap is definitely not like my rap and hip hop's not my like primary genre I listen to, but I do like the fact that the subject matter is there, and you can tell he's well read on a lot of things, and that is good. And I had some nice conversations with him when I met him.
What's he like?
Real cool, humble guy, quiet. Didn't start talking until I walked up to him and started talking. Then we talked for like an hour.
Nice.
Wow.
He was visiting the temple that I was staying at in the ashram. So, he was a monk for a while, and he studied the Vedas and all the like religious and occult literature, and he's a very awake person. and that's probably why he's not, up on the hip hop charts.
Should be just
Yeah.
like
What about that
lyrically
guy
and
that was like?
musically.
What about? Did he have some guy on that was like rapping about like gangbangs or something?
Yeah, like there was one part of the song, and I think what it was referring to is about
It was a
how,
metaphor.
like the gangs and the the race wars and all that stuff is basically socially engineered by the same fucking
Yeah.
scam artists that gave us the fucking zombie book.
It's really intelligent lyrics.
Because that's, I mean, they're like, hey, we could go through all this effort, but they're like, well, we just get them to kill each other, right? And then like pay us taxes to do it.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I think
exactly what's
because I've
happening.
developed. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was done.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I have like I can listen to pretty much any genre of music, and so I've sort of trained my ear for like really fast lyrics. So I was able to catch the metaphors that he was building. Yeah. But
Yeah,
I feel you on the melodic lines as well. Like it's more of a mood thing for me, I think.
I'm like kind of like jaded on rap in the last so long.
Understandably so.
I was into like rap for a while, I would say, and I think it was not like good for me. But like this is like a good like conscious rap, but still like the actual the energy of the music itself, like I kind of just tuned it out. Like I have to be honest, like I really do.
Why?
Yeah.
It's
I
good
can't enjoy
rhythms.
it. I can't like I just can't enjoy it anymore really that much.
I wanna grill you on this. I don't understand why.
It'd be hard to answer. It's like
It's like saying, why don't you?
in a way, I kind of
Like
understand.
hip hop and rap is just like it's like so heavily like
Socially engineered.
manipulated. It's weaponized.
Of course, but there's some good stuff in there too, is what I'm saying.
No. I don't discount the lyrical quality. I mean, it was great, incredible lyrics, and I'm sure that that they were very insightful and had a lot of true esoteric and like valuable knowledge, right? But I'm just talking about like the rhythm, like the actual genre, like the style of music itself. Like I'm like just I find myself turned off by it lately. So.
That's fine.
I totally
I mean,
understand.
in general, I agree with Steve in that, like, I wouldn't be listening to it if it wasn't conscious. That's
Well,
like the main thing.
Isn't that in general though?
Certain types of music, like the way, like country music, like whether it's conscious or unconscious, or even before I was conscious, like I just thought it sounded annoying. I didn't like the sound of
Oh my
it.
god. Svyatoslav
But,
sent
like,
us this thing with like Garth Brooks is a murderer.
I'm starting to get more open-minded. Like some country music, I actually do like a lot.
Do you like Garth Brooks? Because he's a murderer?
Not because he's a murderer, and I don't even know him very much anyway. No,
You guys, Taylor
I don't
Swift
remember
is
much of the
Zena
songs I did
LeVay.
like.
Taylor
That's
Swift
the
is
type
Zena
of
LeVay,
music-
you guys. I figured it out. She's
killed-
Zena LeVay's clone.
But he like Garth Brooks admitted that he would like to kill someone, and like
I didn't know that.
people-
Like,
every time he comes to a city, like a girl disappears and dies and stuff.
yeah, stuff like the people in the music. A lot of the stuff in the music industry, rap, rock, all of it is like situations like that. That makes me like not want to contribute to it and like play it. And
No. This is why we need to make the music that we want to hear. It's
I
on
know,
us. Don't point
but like,
outward. We need to do
when
this.
I find out that's like what the music that I was listening to is about, like even if I was listening to it, I would want to stop listening to it. Like, A lot of the mainstream music I used to like. I found out it's like synthetic stuff, and I'm trying to find different things.
I agree, Jeff, that like I can't listen to certain music just because I know there's people trying to cast spells and stuff on it.
That's true.
Right, and even if you know that this particular
dark energy comes in,
isn't doing that, it's just like
you're right.
There's more aspects than that. It's just like maybe it's because of that, but like maybe it's because of other artists within the same genre, like doing those negative things. You just like have like a bad feeling about it, or like a bad.
And it's also just like a preference. Like if you don't like lemonade, you don't like lemonade, bro. There's
but
nothing
like
wrong with
legitimately,
it.
they do have dark spells.
Like I can appreciate some country now, like the Hank Williams III. I heard a few of his songs that I liked.
I like that white guy. What's his name? I talked about him last time.
The rich man from Richmond.
Oliver Anthony. I like that white guy. He has some music.
I thought it was goofy, but it was such a great message, you know? Like, if it was any other song, like I don't know if I'd be listening, but once I heard the words coming out of his mouth, I was like, well, hell yeah, dude. That's a great message. And, yeah, but this, what I want to do is I want to see if I can get, like, sheets of the lyrics, for these songs. I don't know if he has them up. But that would be just stuff to go through because there's like hundreds of different book recommendations you can get out of each song just by looking up the topics.
That's so cool. Thank you for sharing. Any other thoughts about Atma?
I mean, I don't know if he's done shows in a while or whatever, but he has many albums out. I recommend checking out his Bandcamp, and he's on YouTube. And any way you could support him would be great. And you know, if there were to ever be a festival or a podcast or something, and he were available, I would say he's the man you want to talk to. He's probably got 30 years at least of learning.
Someone like that, even though he's not like a YouTuber, he is also doing the great work. He might be one way to support him might be to like try to introduce him to his work to Mark Passio, get him on the One Great Work Network. Just all
his music up there.
Type of the great work. He's already on there. Oh, okay.
No,
cool.
I said we should put his music up there.
Oh, yeah.
You
know. That's up to Mark, right?
Yeah, or if we have a channel, if any of us get a channel on there, we can always just put a link to his stuff as a recommendation for conscious material, and hopefully he'll get views and people will listen to his stuff and learn some shit.
I wanted to briefly go back to what Svyatoslav said about, the dark spells in mainstream, especially hip hop, right? And like that is legitimate, and I hear you on that. I guess my question is it the rhythm's fault that is the case, right? Like just like technology.
No, it's not the rhythm, but I have like an aversion. It's like a personal issue, I'm just trying to share about myself.
Sometimes the rhythm and melody actually do have some physiological effect on you. Like we should play a sample of that UK drill rap sometime. That's
I don't want to put that out there. That's not good. No, we don't want to promote that.
Just to put it out there as a bad example, like not to promote it, but
it's probably the same kind of music. Probably the same kind of music that reflects the consciousness of a bunch of shitheads who go around stabbing people in Britain.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, that's my, like, honestly, like, when I hear rap, like, if I'm, like, at the grocery store and then I hear, like, rap blasting out of a vehicle, I'm just waiting for, like, some kind of bullshit to go down. because
I
that's
just
the
like all
consciousness.
music. I like all of it. I like Cambodian garage rock, you know? I like
That's
Afro
better.
pop.
That's better than
I
rap and
love
hip hop.
like
Most rap and hip hop is murder
didgeridoo.
programming, mortar
Yeah.
programming spells. You know,
everything.
But like I think what my dad told me about his experience is an example of like how some of this music has like a physiological effect. He says like whenever he hears rap music with like a real heavy bass beat, he just gets angry and like he can't help it. Like he doesn't want to hear it in the background. He'll just get madder and madder the longer it's playing. Like for
it is
no
a
reason.
certain frequency, you know, and I've seen way too many videos of like loud rap music playing and people just beating the shit out of each other, you know, and like, you know, of course there's, look, you drink some beer, smoke some weed, and then you listen to, and it's putting you into a trance, and a lot of it is just about straight up violence, you know, and you wonder, you're in a trance-like state listening to fucking crime glorification anthems, and then you wonder why your life sucks.
Yeah.
No, heavy metal has like mosh pits too. That could be fun. That's
It's the same reason I don't listen to this satanic Cookie Monster metal either. Fuck that.
Totally. Yeah.
Your life becomes what you think like, you know, you think about shit, your life becomes shit.
Sometimes metal's fun though. Sometimes you just want to
like. No, it's just it can't be satanic metal. That's all.
Yeah. Sometimes there's like metal that's like loud and it has that type of high energy, like makes you feel invigorated with a good message. Like you were sharing a lot of Megadeth.
Right, Megadeth, Iron Maiden, like you know,
bands punk rock band is awesome. The Founders.
Right, the Founders. Oh yeah,
it's a rebellious type of spirit.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Paradise Lost. Mark's really into Paradise Lost because that's like the best band ever.
Yeah.
They're so versatile.
No, the band.
Paradise. Oh. I thought
I'm not
we
familiar with them. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, they just dropped a new album too. It's like they're like quite old too. I mean they've been around and they're just like real versatile. They got all these types of genres of like metal to like industrial to like I don't know, stoner metal to like.
How are the lyrics?
Metal.
Are they moral?
Yeah, yeah, they're
Nice.
very deep and insightful. That's what Mark really loves about them.
Cool.
Wow. Yeah, they seem cool. What would you recommend for a song, Steve?
Do you want to play one, Darin? Now that you know how to share your screen.
Yeah, I'm a big boy now.
I don't know.
We're teching it, you guys. Is that what they say? Grokking.
Yeah, keep on teching.
Pick one out and check out and like grab the lyrics, grok the lyrics.
Yeah.
What's
let me
what's
see.
the best Paradise Lost song? Let's listen to a song. Let's follow this present moment. We're going off script.
That's what I'm looking at.
I guess
Great.
I sold it well to y'all.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about the poem by Milton, Paradise Lost. It's very it's the story of Satan. It's very important to read.
Okay, so I got the lyrics.
Okay.
And I will get ready to share this. Oh, Nuclear Blast Records. Wow, there's some other artists I like on there too.
Oh yeah.
Which track should we do?
I'm doing Paradise Lost, Darker Thoughts.
I don't know. I'm still getting in them myself.
Oh, okay.
I found one. I'll go ahead and share the screen.
Sorry, it's so
my
late.
first time.
And
It's okay.
Did you get a lyrical video?
Well, let me see. I was gonna pull the lyrics up separately, but
Yeah, it's good to have them like big.
yeah, I agree.
I don't know how to do any of that yet.
I got it.
No, you just find the video with that on it.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead.
I mean,
and
that's
share
the
my screen.
easy way.
Oh, right. I'm digging this vibe, you guys. This is great episode that we're making.
All right.
Much agreed.
Because it's like, we don't want to copy Mark Passio. We're doing the Gen Z version of Mark Passio. We're listening to the music of those that have understood this material, and we're going to do it our style, you know?
Right.
Cool.
You ready?
You're not a Gen Z.
I'm not.
I'm not
I'm
either.
trying to reach them.
I'm millennial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys Gen Zs?
No.
Svyatoslav, you're Gen Z. You're not? You're a millennial? Oh, sweet.
Think Gen Z? Me?
I don't know. How old are you, dude?
38 years old.
Oh, shit. Well, you have so much, like, beardage. I don't know anything.
I think I'm the oldest one here. If I were a year older, I would be Gen X.
Whoa. I respect
You're
Gen
elder
X.
millennial. You're elder millennial.
Darin, how old are you again?
36.
Oh, shit. I think you're the youngest one here.
Shit. All right.
Jeez.
You ready?
Jeff?
What?
What
Yeah.
year is Jeff?
I'm 43.
Oh, you're 43.
I'm 41.
Oh, wow.
Someone said that I look 25 today. I was like, yes. Thank
Really?
you.
I thought you were a lot younger.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
You know
I wouldn't
what,
have
you guys?
guessed. I wouldn't have
Vegan
guessed.
diet. Fucking vegan diet, you guys. Just saying.
I'm like a
Yeah.
week into it. It's going good.
Yeah, that's great. By the way, what did you think of today's debate?
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I
You
wasn't
did great.
there.
You, like, blasted him away. Well, and you brought him in, too.
It was pretty easy because he was wrong and you were right, and it was 5-on-1.
Yeah, you're really showing, like, a level of humanity, too.
Oh my gosh, that means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you really were.
very kind of you to say.
You bet.
So
I mean,
who were
that's
you
what it
debating?
was.
5 different fools?
No, we were on the side of the 5 against the one Christian Carnus.
Ah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the
he was
blood.
just saying
But the
that
blood.
Yeah.
Oh, the blood came in for sure.
Oh, but the blood.
Yeah, he was just. She kept asking him, like, you know, so, like, when you're killing an animal and it's like begging for its life, like, and he's like, well, that's God's given me that. I was like, but that's your belief. Like, that's what you believe. Like that's not the truth. It's their.
He used to be
it's their
vegan,
body.
you guys.
Ew.
He used to be
Yeah,
vegan. I'm like, please just reconsider doing it again.
No, he doesn't want responsibility for his life, dude. He wants the blood. He's got to spill it everywhere.
Bathing
Yeah,
innocent
and
man
it's this
blood.
fucking ideology that Atma was talking about. It said on the album cover, it said that's the Vatican God. On the LP cover, hell bent on trying to put all of us under some satanic spell. They've murdered over 80 million people in the name of the Roman Catholic Church. They still hoard embarrassing riches there also, and hide every great scripture of the true history of humanity. And they
Fuck 'em.
they desensitize you, and they just repeat over and over again, oh, but my book, and it's just like, well, you don't have the right to believe what you want because it's incorrect and it's leading
So
to
I
shit.
talked about this. So I said, can we agree there are mistranslations between languages? And when there's multiple languages involved, with multiple people doing the translation from their different cultures, etc., maybe, just maybe, the message from God for humanity may have been garbled in the process to some degree. And I finally got him there, and then he said, okay, well, then if I was like, how do you define truth with the noise of the translations? And
they don't even know what their own.
Spirit. And I'm like, what's the Holy Spirit? What's the fucking Holy Spirit? It's your fucking hair. It's your fucking, you have a morality in your heart. It's written on your fucking heart. You just know you're doing something shitty and just you fucking listen to it. That's it, guys.
Yeah, and they got some delusional counterfeit idea of what that is, And even the Bible doesn't even claim it's the word of God. Idiot people believe that. The Bible says, just I don't even believe in the Bible, but the Bible doesn't say it's the word of God. It said Jesus was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. It doesn't mean words on paper. That's another obfuscation. And anyway, the original word there was logos in Greek, and that's like the spoken
podcast, you guys.
It's the spoken word. It's the mind of creation. So you have like the universal mind or God or source, and you have like nous, which is like the mind, and the individual psyche being a fragment or part and parcel of that, and you have the logos, the word, the logic, the laws of nature. So what they did was they personified this logos, murdered it, and celebrated its sacrifice, and now everybody can live a guilt-free life with no real conscience. I mean, it's an occult mockery. Yeah, it's an occult mockery in the Death of the King ritual. It's a regicide and homicide and cannibalism. It's every bad thing you could possibly imagine. And then it's also a stand-down psyop and a worldview poisoning that there is nothing you can do because some man is going to come out of the sky and set things straight. So you can all just watch your fucking sports ball, and your fucking TV shows and, worry about things and stuff that possess you. And
they accept it as like totally infallible. So if it says to do something completely horrible, like go over to the city and slaughter all of them, even the women and children, they say it must be right because it's in here. It can't be wrong. Even the obviously bad stuff, the animal sacrifice, even when it said for Abraham to sacrifice his son, it can't be wrong because it's in there. But everything should be taken with discernment. It does contain the Word of God also because it contains
you do dark mode. This is
that are true.
So
I'm sorry.
No,
you know what?
Dark mode, please.
The Word of God is anything that's the truth, and something like treat someone how you would want to be treated. The golden rule. That is the truth. Whenever you find truth in the religious books, that is the Word of God. But there's also
that's why so many people have read the book and not understand it, or have
there's a lot of words of like a counterfeit, imposter God, like someone who wants to control, like who's saying all the bad stuff. That is not the Word of God. Like whether it's in a Bible or in a comic book or something, if it's actually good, if it's actually truth. Like, accept it, and if it's wrong, reject it.
Right.
But yeah, there is a good message of.
You want to see something good?
If you want to, if your understanding of Christ is the conscience, then it truly is the Savior. The conscience does save you from sin, and it's the only thing that saves you from sin. So that's why they say Christ is the only way. But that's actually the same message of like every other spiritual tradition. But like they all have their perverted version, which is the mainstream version. That's part of the worldview poisoning. Like the religions, like they're all denominations of Satanism, but they all think that they're something that's that Satanism is the enemy, and like no, they are the enemy. Satan means the enemy, but they're the enemy of like the true life force of everything good. But
Right.
yeah, they all think they're anti-Satanism, but they're all actually denominations of Satanism.
Correct. Well, let me see here. I got something pulled up because we were talking about worldview poisoning and this psyop here. Let me pull it up before we go into that. Can you see the words on the screen?
What
Hey, we
genre?
were all talking over each other. Sorry about that. Did you have something to say, Geri? You were both talking. I kind of went over you because I wanted to say what I was saying. Like Darin
What
saying,
genre of music are we listening to next?
It's gonna be Darker Thoughts by Paradise Lost that Steve recommended, but I just wanted to bring this up
Is
as
it like metal or like rock?
it's kind of goth rock, yeah,
Oh,
goth
okay.
rock or goth metal. But I wanted to bring this up because this is related to the psyop and mixing truth with lies and all that shit that they do that Atma was talking about in the song about, basically the violence of the worldview poisoning and how we get there. So this is Ecclesiastes. Everything is meaningless. The words of the teacher, son of David, king in Jerusalem. For people who don't know, that would be Solomon. Meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher. Utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless. What do people gain from all their labors which they toil under the sun? Generations and generations go, but the earth remains forever, and the sun rises and the sun sets and hurries back to where it rises. I mean, it's just on and on, dude. This is just diarrhea. But
Someone's
anyway,
missing.
okay.
Svyatoslav, someone's missing
What do you mean?
in the vegan chat. Someone's missing.
Oh,
Are they
well, yeah,
okay?
he hasn't shown up. I don't know. We haven't heard from him.
Shouldn't you call him to make sure he's alive or something?
I don't know if they've done that.
Do you want to do that maybe?
It's just people. I don't really know him as well as he does. He's got it.
Okay.
but someone's missing that was supposed to show up in the
Someone's
podcast.
missing, and they're worried. Yeah, right now.
Someone's listening to us.
No.
Or no, someone's missing.
Missing, yeah. Let's just hope they're found. I'm just going to send positive vibes.
Yeah.
You found out they were missing because they were supposed to be part of that chat?
Yeah.
And do you know who it was?
I don't want to say on the air.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just drop it, guys. I mean, I don't know. Like,
I don't understand, but if someone needs it, yeah, I'll do what I can to send positive vibes too.
It's in the state we're in currently.
Okay.
Wait, were you reading those lyrics that?
No, that was from Ecclesiastes.
Yeah. So here's the ecclesial disease here. All right, ready? The conclusion of the matter. I just skipped to the end of the book to save us time and annoyance. But not only was the teacher wise, but he also imparted knowledge to the people, and he pondered and searched out and set in order many proverbs. The teacher searched to find just the right words, and what he wrote was upright and true. The words of the wise are like goads, their collected sayings like firmly embedded nails given by one shepherd. Be warned, my son, of anything in addition to them. Of making many books there is no end, and much study wearies the body. Now all has been heard. Here is the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the duty of all mankind. For God will bring every deed into judgment, including every hidden thing, whether it is good or evil. It's like, dude, they just lied to you about the point of mankind. Fear God and keep his commandments. Because they're referring to commandments that God didn't make up. A dark occultist priest class made that shit up. And all that whole book was about is nihilism. Like, it's like there's no point to life except keeping the commandments. And if you don't keep the commandments, then, you know, that's the only thing that could possibly give your life meaning. And the commandments are like nothing. The commandments are like slaughter a goat and do this ritual and spill its blood. Or in the New Testament, it's like no requirement for sacrifice anymore because a human was. It's the entire opposite of what you're supposed to do.
If something's intelligent enough to create the whole universe, and something loves its creation, and claims that it loves its creation because it's created in its own image, they're all part of it. Like, it would absolutely not want to be worshipped, because like to worship something is like to. But I don't know. It's to lower yourself. It's like God wants us to be free because we're a part of God, and like if we're free, God is free. If we're subordinate, then God is subordinate because that's why God loves us. We're all a part of God, and I know not every. A lot of the religious people like don't all acknowledge even that we're all a part of God. They think we're separate from the Creator.
Right. It's another psyop. Yeah. I agree. Like if we're supposed to be sentient, then why would the source of creation and the giver of the real law, natural law, why would the source of creation want us to slaughter a part of creation and offer its blood? That's so creepy.
No,
it is a dark occult psyop to make everybody a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, what the Creator would want what any creator would want for the creation, and what like the Creator of the universe obviously wants is for the creation to thrive and evolve, and like everything that we have the will to do, like that's good. Like that's what God wants for us. Not to worship something, to be free, and yeah, to truly be free is to respect the sovereignty of everything else as well. But
and one of the definitions of worship is to show great reverence and respect for something like a deity. And like, what better way to actually do that for real than be good to, like, you know what I mean? If like usually if you care about something and respect it, you don't kill it, right?
Reverence and respect for the Creator. There's nothing wrong with that, actually.
And the best way to do that is by just following natural law, and then you're respecting all of creation.
But that's not what it's talking about.
The twisted religious.
In the Bible, any of the three Abrahamic versions, God wants to be worshipped by like, oh, show me that you love me by like killing some animal and dedicating it to me.
It's a sick ritual.
Or show me that you love me by like spending all your time praying instead of doing. I can't think of all the examples.
Yeah, or mutilating the genitals, like all that crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a sick ritual. It's not worship. It's anti-worship. It's a satanic ritual. And then on top of that, they call it good, and they call the people who don't do it satanic. Then they murder them using their little shit scroll as a fucking justification.
Yeah,
It's
because
just a
one
murder
of the
ritual.
satanic strategies is to invert everything, to just claim the opposite of the truth is the truth. So the real truth is the opposite of what they claim, and it's the last thing that people expect. They think, well, it can't be that. That's the opposite of what they claim. It's got to be like something closer to what they're claiming, if what they're claiming isn't the actual truth. So, like, yeah, but like every single mainstream organized religion, anything with an authority structure within it, is a denomination of Satanism.
You know what I think happens on a psychic level is that because these people have actually cremated their care, wink, wink, Bohemian Grove.
We know what that
they've
means.
cremated their maybe not all the viewers do, but I hope most of them do, and they do now. And so now that they've murdered the sacred feminine through this satanic matricide of murder ritual of a triune all male deity, ridiculous, and basically have made an occult mockery of like femininity.
Yeah.
They try to get you to believe that nothing you do matters. The only thing is that you believe in a myth that's not true, because nobody can get punished for you rightfully. Like, you're responsible for your actions. You can't put that on somebody. And then at the end of the day, they want you to realize that it doesn't matter how good you are. The only thing that makes you spiritually able to be saved is believing that some guy died for you. That's so fucking sick and twisted. So what that does is it gets people to abjure like their thoughts. They stop judging themselves. They stop having a conscience. And what I'm talking about is living without a conscience creates
the social
opposite. Yeah, it creates psychopathy, but what it is like there's your true self, and then you almost create a demonic projection of yourself, and your actual like goodness potential gets inverted. So what I'm saying is evil is worse than the devil. Like that. See, so what they do is they make like a paper tiger. Like they make up a fucking little fake 2-dimensional image of the devil and tell you it's this. And the way to get out of hell free card is to believe in this other opposite devil. But really, they're inverting it. So by you not caring and not believing that you're responsible for your own actions, you go through life unconsciously and you create like this massive karma, which is the sum total of all the effects of all the deeds you've done. And it creates like, it becomes spiritually like a sinkhole in the world, and it brings chaos. It brings wars.
Correct.
It brings extinction of animals. It brings crime. It brings
keep talking
sexual violence. It becomes self-loathing. It gets people to hate their own bodies, and it gets people so fucked up to the point where we're in a society where people find it easier to have surgery and change their bodies instead of just get in touch with their masculine and feminine sides emotionally through shadow work. So we're in a bad place spiritually when people decide to carve up their flesh, and this is how delusional they are. They think that they are the body.
Right.
How can changing my skin and body tissues change me? That is not who I am. And that is the result. Not caring, identifying completely with the body, and not even having a conscience, and not even believing they have a soul, and not believing that maybe these feelings of emptiness come from a sense of cosmic abandonment because their parents didn't love
is
them.
something real. It's significant. It's what we really are, not the body.
It sucks the life out of life, and we just end up being meat puppets. And these dark sorcerers take that negative energy and they feed off it like a freaking crack rock.
Dude, you're on fire.
You know, you mentioned the devil, and it makes me want to bring up what you mentioned in a chat conversation. Like, I want to bring it up in the podcast about what you learned from Freemasonry. The 30-second.
I was reading Albert Pike's thing, and he said, I mean, I could pull it up if you want.
Whoa, you're just now. Sharing the screen, you guys. That's literally happening on the podcast now.
What's happening?
Darin is about to share his screen on our group podcast.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, it's the first time for our podcast. We have
this is we're coming on up in our tech field. This is great.
I can pull it up real quick. Yeah, no problem.
Hey, let me make this observation. So that 30, what you shared with us, the 33rd degree. Do you mind if I share this on the podcast? It's not a secret.
I think Darin should share it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just.
You share it first, and then I want to make my observation about it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So.
What's up, Dustin?
I'm gonna find this part. I'm about to start reading.
Yo, Dustin, what's up? Welcome to Zombie Apocalypse. We're chilling.
Oh, all right. You're not recording, right?
We're totally fucking recording. Turn your fucking camera on and join us.
What?
I'm having my little marijuana ahorita.
La mota.
Living life to the fullest.
Sí.
Oh yeah.
¿Cómo está?
How
are you, dude? What?
The lighter side of genocide.
Fuck yeah, that's crazy.
Where have I heard that before?
Vinny Eastwood show.
Oh, okay.
Does your camera on? Just can you turn it on, please?
I gotta be at my desk. I'm not at my desk.
So what?
What?
Are you using your fondle slab?
Are you butt naked?
So, but you're really recording on StreamYard right now?
Yeah.
No, we're recording on Telegram.
Yeah.
Right now, dude. It's happening now. Present moment awareness.
My goodness.
Present moment awareness.
I was just going to chat for a little bit.
You're welcome to. This is live. This is, live recorded.
Now it's getting all professional.
It's not professional, dude. I have been smoking weed this entire fucking episode.
That's excellent.
If my kids see this, I could have CPS be called on me or whatever.
Uh-oh. That's no bueno.
I know. I'm not with them this week, so I'm being responsible parent.
Oh yeah, that's right. When you cross an imaginary line, it makes everything different.
Touche.
I forgot about that.
Fuck. Normally I do
the non-contract contract that gave him jurisdiction to your stuff.
What's happening right now?
I think we just had a moment, but I'm
trying to get my stuff ready.
If we were hanging out in real life, we could have a moment of
Dustin's
where we wouldn't have to talk, but on a recording, this group chat, you have to talk.
I know. What the fuck?
Okay, so while he's getting ready, why don't you, Dustin, or Darin, why don't you tell about this?
Fucking moment of silence.
Not during the podcast. It'll screw up the podcast.
Fuck, Jeff. Fuck.
Go ahead.
What the fuck?
Okay,
Yeah.
so I have the thing up.
No, I'm joking with my friends. Sorry.
Um,
I'm at my friend's house. What's up, Francine?
Should I drop it in the chat so that we can look along?
Yes, whatever's. Oh, we're listening. So right now we're gonna jam to some conscious music right now, Dustin.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. So Darin, hit it with the screen sharing, please. To show how techie we've become.
Are you not wanting to share the 32nd degree secret? Of,
that's fine, but we want to just play this song.
We're listening to the music, bro.
Yeah, after the song.
And Darin's got a roll too.
Oh, toads.
Yeah, pretty.
Thanks, Darin.
Yeah. All right. So I've never heard this before, but I guess
Thank
this is the
you.
lyrics video.
And if we want to dance, let's dance, you guys. Feel free to be ourselves. Stop hiding.
All right, ready?
Let's stop hiding from each other and from ourselves. Let's be real with each other and
Geri
ourselves.
carries the light.
Aw, thank you.
Carries the light.
Make sure I'm sharing system audio this time. All right.
Gracias.
Oh, it doesn't work on Telegram, does it?
I think it does.
Oh, there you go.
Gracias.
Steve with the
What
heart.
kind of sorcery is that, Slav Squatch?
Apple sorcery.
By the tears and the strain. But this one-way street you're on, you'll never be fulfilled.
Is this the same musician that had the rap earlier?
No.
This one-way street you're on is gonna get you killed. Healing the lost, so delusional, hollow and vague. Ascending through fear as emotionless dreams of the grave. But this one-way street you're on, you'll never be fulfilled. And this one-way street you're on is gonna get you killed.
Whoa! Wow, that's amazing. Excellent. This feels like Tool.
Kick pedals there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the intro had more of like a European, like black metal type of sound.
All those darker thoughts are coming back to stay. Within a peace confused pain. All those darker thoughts are coming back to stay. Colors sworn to kill. Annihilation.
I want to sing this song. Wow, amazing. Peace. Excellent. Amazing. The musicality and the mixing of genres, it was almost like a madrigal in the beginning, and then it became like this sort of softer goth rock, and then it became metal, and there's the rhythm changes too, and like the forward motion of the rhythm. Excellent lyrics. Beautiful stylizing from the vocalist, going from the various styles, like singing really well and classically in the beginning, and then like using that guttural, like, you know, like in the throat. So just like really amazing range vocally.
I really like the vibe it gives, like the way it makes me feel, like overall. I couldn't tell like what the lyrics were talking about, like whether they're conscious lyrics or not. I want to point out
That's what I was trying to see.
What?
That's what I was trying to notice. Are they conscious lyrics?
One thing it reminds me of, though, is this other thing. Like, I don't expect it to be a conscious lyric band because of like who promotes it, but it's the music on this one YouTuber puts on his videos. He's like a anti-vegan guy that eats all the raw brains and all the vegan protests and stuff. Have you guys heard of the SV3 Ridge? I guess it's pronounced Spheria or something.
You can put it in the Telegram, and then I'll add it to the episode description.
Does that mean Swedish?
I think it means Swedish in Swedish.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Jag skulle vilja ha en öl. That means I'd like a beer in Swedish.
But yeah, I think he might have really flipped out and done something. Like I think he threw acid
I want
on
to
his
learn that song and like cover it. I want to cover that song.
Yeah,
that's awful.
Yeah, he might not be on YouTube anymore. Like I don't know, but like I believe the accusations about him. Like, I, I heard some pretty good evidence. Looks like a really bad guy, but Yeah, I've watched his videos maybe for shock value just to hear some of the nonsense that he says. But
Paradise Lost. That was
the music he plays sounds good though. That's what made me think of it.
What's the?
yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah. It's highly talented. They delivered.
It was like 3/4 rhythm, like like triplets.
That one we heard right now is Paradise Lost.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
The band Within Temptation though. That's like.
Shall we play DJ Darin?
Female.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I know I gotta go soon.
I know you gotta go. Never mind. Darin is an excellent singer, you guys. I don't know if you know this, but Darin has wonderful vocal range, and he's quite the performer.
Thank you.
Cool.
Darin,
I'll drop some links in the chat.
Can I call your haircut a Kentucky waterfall?
Oh yeah.
It's fucking choice.
Yeah, dude. I mean, this is my tribute to They Live and Escape from New York.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, dude, this is the apocalypse, right? You got to have your fucking post-apocalyptic haircut. I mean,
I love it, man. It's coming back.
Beyond Thunderdome.
I think the Kentucky waterfall haircut is coming back, and I think
yeah, but I'm doing it for real. I mean, this is going to be Beyond Thunderdome.
No, yeah, I think you put the energy out in the zeitgeist. I saw another gentleman here in Southern California wearing one. I was like, hey, I think
I'm seeing it too. I'm seeing it too. I'm good. You know, you tell these fucking fashion industries to fuck off.
Yeah, no, I hear why you're doing it, so that's good.
I mean, it's just perfect. Like, so you can wear your helmet, and you can keep the hair out of your eyes and do what you got to do.
That's right.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
But yeah, so Jeff asked me to read about, like, when I said, like, the devil is a psyop. Like, it is, because by the nature of reality, there's not an equal and opposite deity. That's a psyop, and that's what gets people to not commit to actual morality. So there's some paragraphs in here in the Royal Secret, but essentially what I want to get at is this idea of the false idea of opposites, but then also the fact that basic morality is the beginning and the end of all things philosophy and true philosophy and spirituality.
True.
Okay. The rest is just details that you think about when you're bored. But it's right is still right and wrong is still wrong. And it gives you an appreciation. All these lessons of the trivium and quadrivium are just to give you an appreciation, of, like, you see a building from a distance, you're like, yeah, that's a building. But when you walk around in it, you're like, wow, look at the attention to detail. Look at the perfect design. And it causes you to appreciate it. But in no way, shape, or form does information that you can collect in the world via your senses or any kind of instrumentation or philosophical speculation, there's no way, unless it's your error, that you can arrive at a conclusion that is immoral. Okay, the Bhagavad Gita says that which is real never ceases to exist, and that which is unreal never comes into being. Okay? But when people are acting on erroneous beliefs, that causes actual harm in the world, and therefore you don't have the right to believe in a wrongdoing. because it's wrong.
Right.
And it is because it is, and there's no retroactive justification. And that's why we have to, if we want the world to be free, we have to reject the idea that somebody can just get like a special favor.
Darin,
And yeah,
why didn't you become a monk?
I did, but nobody wanted to hear what I had to say, so I left. They would not let me. They would not me lecture on the Gita. They would not let me lecture on the Bhagavatam. They would not let me, because they didn't want to hear it. They wanted to hear themselves talk about what they think.
Darin.
And so then I realized, why would I be in the temple and preaching to people who already know everything when I can get the message out to humanity so people don't have to suffer in ignorance like I did for so long.
Occultist is a better thing to be than a monk.
These guys just wanted me to get donations and do manual labor, and I'm like, man, whatever. But here's the thing. I don't, this is not like, I learned a lot, and it was a place where people cared about what I was learning, but just like in any type of institution, whether it's college or a church or something like that, like they're there because they care about truth, but when somebody finds it, these people can't recognize it because they've been so dominated by the cancer consciousness of society, the mind virus. So essentially, like, I don't resent the experience. I don't want to make it seem like that, but it's just, there's been so many times where like people have had like visceral, like pissed off reactions to me speaking, to where like it's resulted in physical kerfuffles, and I just, whatever. It cuts what I've been told by my friends is it cuts deep sometimes when I say
Great
stuff.
White Ninja.
Yeah, and it's been a lot of that.
Kill the messenger. I'm just telling you
Yeah.
the truth. Don't kill the messenger. Come on now.
They glitch out. Their egos take over their bodies, like Agent Smith taking over someone in the Matrix, and they're like, I can't stand it.
Yeah, you look way healthier than Chris Farley, but yeah, you just made me think of that. Like,
yeah. Oh, I got some content for you then, because I got some footage of me goofing around. But yeah. So people say, well then, like, well, what about evil then? What do you mean Satanists? And I mean the opposite of God. That's what I mean. So Jeff had asked me about the royal secret, and like evil is worse than a boogeyman, and this is why. Okay. Of that equilibrium between good and evil and light and darkness in the world, which assures us all.
Unshare your screen so we can see your face better as you talk.
Yeah. If you don't need, that's fine.
There will be 5 squares instead of 6. I don't know if.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
One of them might be bigger.
I'm high, so if I need things bigger, thank you. Yay, I can see you better. I have chinky eyes, and then I'm high, so I'm like extra chinky right now. I'm like chinky squared.
All right. Well, let's see. Okay, here we go. I found my place back on the page. And this is related to, what Mark has been telling us about natural laws, like the universe is a justice machine. So of that equilibrium between good and evil and light and darkness in the world, which assures us that all is the work of infinite wisdom and infinite love, and that there is no rebellious demon of evil or principle of darkness coexistent and in eternal controversy with God or the principle of light and of good. By attaining to the knowledge of which equilibrium, we can, through faith, see that the existence of evil, sin, suffering, and sorrow in the world is consistent with the infinite goodness as well as the infinite wisdom of the Almighty. Sympathy and antipathy, attraction and repulsion, each a force of nature, are contraries in the souls of men and in the universe of spheres and worlds. And from the action and opposition of each against the other, result harmony and that movement, which is the life of the universe and soul alike. They are not antagonists of each other. The force that repels a planet from the sun is no more an evil force than that which attracts the planet towards the central luminary. For each is created and exerted by the deity, and the result is the harmonious movement of the obedient planets in their elliptic orbits and the mathematical accuracy and unvarying regularity of their movements. And of that equilibrium between authority and individual action, which constitutes free government by settling on immutable foundations of liberty with obedience to law, equality, and subjection to authority, and fraternity with the subordination to the wisest and the best, and of that equilibrium between the active energy of the will of the present, expressed by the vote of the people, and the passive stability and the permanence of the will of the past, expressed in constitutions of government, written or unwritten, in the laws of the customs, gray with age and sanctified by time, as precedence and authority, which is represented by the arch resting on the two columns, and that stand at the portals of the temple builded by wisdom, on one of which masonry sets the celestial globe, symbol of the spiritual part of our composite nature, and the other, the terrestrial globe, symbol of the material part. Now I'm going to skip ahead, and it says here.
What are you reading from?
Morals and Dogma by Albert Pike.
Oh, okay.
And it says here, and this equilibrium teaches us, above all, to reference ourselves as immortal souls, and to have respect and charity for others who are even such as we are, partakers with us of the divine nature, lighted by a ray of divine intelligence, struggling like us toward the light, capable like us of progress toward perfection, and deserving to be loved and pitied, but never to be hated or despised, to be aided and encouraged in this life struggle, and not to be abandoned nor left to wander in the darkness alone, still less to be trampled upon in our own efforts to ascend. So from the mutual attraction and reaction of each of these pairs of opposites and contraries results that which with them forms the triangle. To all the ancient sages, the expressive symbol of deity, from Isis and Osiris, the master of light and life and the creative world. At the angles of one stand, symbolically, the three columns that support the lodge, itself a symbol of the universe, wisdom, power, and harmony or beauty. Of these symbols found on the tracing board of the apprentice's degree, teaches this last lesson of Freemasonry. It is the right-angled triangle representing man as a union of the spiritual and material, of the divine and human. The base, measured by the number 3, the number of the triangle, represents deity and the divine. The perpendicular, measured by the number 4, the number of the square, represents earth, the material and the human. And the hypotenuse, measured by 5, represents the nature, which is produced by the union of the divine and human. The soul and body, the squares 9 and 16, of the base and perpendicular added together, producing 25. The square root thereof is 5, the measure of the hypotenuse. As in each triangle of perfection, 1 is 3 and 3 are 1. So man is one, though of a double nature, and he attains the purposes of his being only when the two natures that are in him are in just equilibrium, and his life is a success only when it too is a harmony and beautiful, like the great harmonies of God and the universe. And such, my brother, is the true word of a master mason, such the true royal secret which makes possible and shall at length make real the holy empire of true Masonic brotherhood. Gloria Dei, Celari Verbum, Amen. So what that means is that the forces of nature, so actions have a reaction. People's actions have consequences, and all that's saying is moral rectitude, represented by the upright right-angled triangle, is simply that right is right and wrong is wrong. And if you notice nature, the movement of the spheres, just the principles of science, the laws of thermodynamics and everything, I mean, everything in the universe is perfectly ordered by its own consciousness. I mean, we're all the all is mental, and the laws of the universe are the laws of God. So therefore, God is not a torturer. And when we see evil in the world, it's because God is good, and when people do the opposite, they get less of that. They're producing the opposite of
There's
good.
no devil opposite of God. It's the lack of God instead of the
Yes.
opposite.
Yes. And it's so therefore it's worse, because just like God is infinite, like our suffering can be like near infinite if we put ourselves in our world in that position, and that's where we're at. And we
Dustin,
can't just say sorry and everything goes away. Like, it's serious, you know?
Yes.
Dustin, what do you think about what was just said? And I want you to plug some things, but first, I want your reaction, please.
Well,
and thank you.
I wanted to give my reaction first. That's why I even said it, because since
Dustin
we
hasn't
shared it with us,
talked.
Jeff,
I wanted to let him say the thing before. Well, do your plug though. I just remembered what awesome thing you made. I don't want to stop you from plugging that.
Plugging what?
Oh, your website.
Yeah, I'll do that. But yeah, this is great. And you know what's really rad? What's really, really rad? So Mark, in his extra world abilities, put together this thing called the Ark. We all know it. And what's really rad about this is they have on the Ark what Mark so carefully put together. There's a video, a 5-hour video on Kabbalah. And it's a wonderful video.
What's it called?
Wonderful video. It's called The Wisdom of Kabbalah.
Oh, Kabbalah. I thought you said Allah.
Kabbalah. Kabbalah.
Okay.
Kabbalah. That's how he says it in the video. And it's amazing, and I'm loving every minute of it. And so adding to this idea of just fresh listening to it, so I'll add into what you're talking about. Yes, in Kabbalah, the idea of Satan is an adversary force. It's a force in us, but Satan is necessary for us to keep growing ourselves in sharing the light and sharing God. Without pressure back on us, we wouldn't be growing forward. So Satan helps us move ourselves forward into light and into sharing and into growing. So it is a difficult force and a pressured force, and if we give into it, then what activates is this called in Kabbalah the bread of shame, where we can't give any. We keep receiving, but we can't give anymore, and it ends up breaking things apart. So Satan, the adversary force in us, is helping to sharpen us, move us forward, so we can be more like light. And God in Kabbalah is light. Light is infinite sharing. All light God wants to do is share and bring unity. That's all it wants to do. So here on this planet, when we're in, we share and bring unity. And the adversary force is to help us grow ourselves to keep sharing. So that coincides with a lot of cause and effect, Hermetic philosophy. It goes inside with Freemasonry, what Pike was talking about. They're all they're different flavors. They're different flavors of ice cream, but they're still ice cream, right? And so it's these wonderful
man, ice cream.
Yeah,
it's not ice cream. Oh, fuck.
So that's what I want to add to that. And hopefully that
Dustin, what about the cliphotic element, because I think what we're describing is the state of world affairs here is in direct opposition to natural law, and with being taught the opposite of natural law, as in our actions don't matter, only our beliefs, which is literally the inverse of, what things are. Do you feel like the system we're living in is not only just kind of confusion, but a socially engineered cliphotic society with the dark side of the Sephiroth, to where we're told that lies are truth and actions don't mean anything, only intentions and beliefs? Don't you think we're living in a shadow, and that's why we're receiving so much chaos and evil? Is because we're literally acting on the photo negative of the light.
Well, I mean, I put it in the practical. If someone opened their mouth and started saying that, I would literally have to wipe my face from liquid diarrhea that's coming out of their mouth. So, yes.
Dustin, you're
So
funny.
So someone saying that is absolutely 100% wrong, and they're in narcissistic, a wounded state, and they need to go back and get educated. They need to learn.
And it's actively doing harm by people saying, well, I can't criticize their beliefs. They have a right to their beliefs. No, they don't. They can think something and they can say something, but I mean, usually beliefs influence behavior, and the behaviors are pretty bad.
Yeah, the belief in authority causes to do behaviors that contribute to authority, and authority from one being over another is slavery. So yeah, belief in authority leads to slavery, and it is a bad thing. It's not okay to believe that.
And that's why I like to make that distinguish. I mean, Crow 777 shows like belief is the enemy of knowing, and I really like that, and that's the case. You can have all kinds
because
of
perfection is the enemy of good, right? And belief in a invisible perfection is literally just a mental screen canvas that they cast. You know, they try to project their version of reality on, and then get frustrated at the universe when they don't get their way.
Yeah, they don't know the rules of how the universe works and how to get peace and fulfillment in their life. They don't understand the rules. And then when you don't understand the rules, you're going to be highly frustrated and eventually just implode. It won't work. It won't work. Just like if you're trying to run off a cliff and fly, it's not going to happen. I mean, out of your normal, but it's not going to happen. Good luck. But you got to know the rules to dance properly on this planet. So, yeah, I like it. So those are some of my thoughts. Oh, and then, so if anyone wants to, I mean, there's some things that I've done in my life to help protect against government violence in using equity and in financial well-being using Bitcoin, and then also spiritual anarchy, what we're talking about here. All you ladies and gentlemen are quite powerful in spiritual anarchy, so that's wonderful. And so in that, it's called Practical Anarchy. Is what and it's a membership. So you become a member, you agree, it's a private group, you agree to it, and then I teach what I've learned, that's worked in my life, and then we go from there. It's practicalanarchy.education is the website. But yeah, anyone's
also
it's private.
Also, there's some updates for your sovereign systems. Would you like to share?
There is an update coming down the pipeline. Probably I'm going to release it probably at the end of the week, where I'm going to release new hardware. So there's going to be a new version of the computer. I just actually shipped one out. And so it's faster. It's got more RAM. It's got more storage. And it runs cooler, nice. So it's a really nice little computer system. So I got that coming out, and I'll update the website with that. So that's what's coming out as well. So thank you for you thinking of me.
Of course. You are our friend.
Yeah, you've got some awesome knowledge about how to effectively stand up for your rights against government, and I'm looking forward to going to your website and learning a lot more about that. I did the login and sign up. I didn't get an email back. I might have done something wrong, but
I did send an email back to you, so we're waiting for you to connect back in.
Oh, okay. I got to check my email then. I just didn't notice it.
Yeah, check your email, and then I'll get you on. But I think how to synthesize this, the easiest way is, we have to feel our power in the now moment, our feet on the ground, and feel our power, and that helps strengthen us to know that, oh yeah, literally a lot of this stuff is just figments of our imagination, and to do it kindly and press back and do it in a way that's effective, it's great. And so learning how to do equity and things like that was that. Are you?
I have the munchies right now.
That looks really yummy.
There's a whole vegan burrito place here.
I've been making these vegan breakfast burritos with vegan junk food with the Just Egg and Beyond sausage and the Daya cheese.
I haven't had Mexican in forever.
Before we go to food, one thing I want to say. Before we go to food, one thing I want to say. It helps you be not a victim. It helps get your power so you can feel like you're not a victim. And that's the thing. That's the dark occult, I think, pressure is to make us feel like we're powerless and we can't do anything. And
Excelente.
There's a lot of folks out there that have done stuff like this. Some's worked, some hasn't. But it just, anything that we can do now to help us stand in our power and not feel like a victim is, I think, wonderful. So there you go.
And I wanted to say something about this 32nd degree secret of Freemasonry. That's why I brought it up. Like Darin derived the main point from it, broke it down to say the devil is a psyop, or there is no devil, there's only God. Is that accurate?
Yeah, evil is doing the opposite, and the repercussions we get.
So.
I'm answering your question, Jeff.
No,
there's only God. There is only God.
I just wanted to confirm that, and then I've got an observation about that. Now, another thing that doesn't exist by the nature of what it is zero. The number zero, or the concept of non-existence. Everything that does exist is part of the creation. It truly is God. Zero is what doesn't exist. And, I used to think of the devil as maybe the force of entropy, which is the force of chaos or decay. But that force is the everything in creation, like racing to the number zero, like the complete entropy. That there's zero actions that can be taken by any particle. Like there's zero energy, everything's dispersed. And the second law of thermodynamics states that entropy always increases.
No, but what it is, Jeff, is it's an unhealthy ego.
Let me finish. I know it sounds like something you're not going to want to hear, but just hear me out. So the second law of thermodynamics does state that entropy is always increasing. So that means everything is going towards death and decay. With inanimate matter, it wouldn't be considered death. It would be just considered decay, non-existence, or chaos. The opposite of that is order and evolution. Evolution is what life does. Life evolves by creating order, by using the free will and the force of creativity, also known as the generative principle, which is the same creative force that created all of existence. But life, uses the free will to make conscious decisions to try to perpetuate more and more life, and in doing so, life forms are the only matter that the second law of thermodynamics. They're an exception to that because of the actions they take and the use of the willpower. They find a way to, even if the body gets old and dies and decays, to reproduce and make another generation of life, and always find a way for life to continue and just to increase the diversity and complexity and build and create more things. Even if we get past some point of biological life, we'll find some other way to keep on existing. I'm not saying like transhumanism.
Okay, I gotta go. But I wanted to present something before I go. May I?
Yes.
Yeah. And then Jeff,
Okay.
I want to know what you're arguing. I don't know what you're
It's
arguing.
I don't really
It's not an argument. It's a kind of a point I'm gonna make.
Hold on, Darin has to go, dude. Darin has to go. He wants to say something before he goes.
Okay, go ahead.
Academic argument.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen.
I gotta show you something cool on my screen. It's totally a non sequitur.
I want to learn that song and cover it.
Do it.
Yeah.
But you're working towards zero when you violate rights.
Jeff,
when you
let's just drop that because it's
Darin,
messing me up, dude.
I've been trying to make this point. I was patient. Like I let you say everything first.
Darin has to go, dude. You will get your turn.
So Darin goes.
I'm sorry. Now
no, that's all right. So okay. Well,
I was trying to say the quick thing before he brought it up during the silence, and like I didn't know it was going to be over right then.
Well, dang, I'm right. So Jeff, what concise it? What are you trying to? What's your argument? Academic argument. What are you saying? Darin said something. Then what are you trying to counter?
Oh no, I'm not trying to counter. Like I didn't hear something he said that I disagree with. I just wanted to share an observation that.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's no devil. I think zero or non-existence is the devil, which doesn't contradict the idea that there's no devil, because non-existence does not exist. But life is the opposite of that. Life wants to continue and perpetuate and evolve. And like it does that when we're not violating rights. When we're violating rights, we're just feeding the force of entropy or chaos, and like we're heading towards non-existence. What life does is like basically rage against zero or the devil or non-existence. Just tries to be like perpetual motion and just perpetually exist. And
yes,
I think perpetual motion does exist because the universe is not a closed system. It's beyond the biggest thing. It's not finite. It's infinite. So like life is the universe itself, and life is the exception to the statement, there's no such thing as perpetual motion. Life is perpetual motion.
Yes. Correct. I agree with that. And I think the Hermeticist also would agree with that as well. The Kybalion, that's what it talks about.
But yeah, I don't know what Darin wanted to share. I'm sorry I got in the way of that.
Let's include Svyatoslav in this conversation. I said it right. Yes. What are your thoughts?
On what?
What has been shared so far? By the way, the missing person has been found, so all is calm.
Awesome.
That's great. Yeah, I don't really have many thoughts.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think
same.
I think they're all really good. Yeah, Jeff, I like what you're saying. And in Hermetic philosophy, it talks about how it's undifferentiated substance that keeps expanding and becoming more finite and more articulated until it finally hits its peak, and then it breaks down and goes back into the wall.
Did you want to share something?
Yeah, I gotta work. early tomorrow, and I'm tired. So, we don't have to try to address everything in one night. So I just want to say good night, guys.
Good night. My bad for.
No, it's okay.
Good night, bro.
We'll hear it next time.
Much time, and I don't want to rush, so we'll do it at length another time.
Great.
Have a good night, guys. Yep.
You too.
Good night, Darin.
Bye.
It was good seeing you, Darin.
Bye.
Same, Dustin.
Sweet dreams.
Thank you.
Dreamland.
I want to add something. Because life is perpetual, it doesn't mean like every life form or every planet is going to like survive forever. Like the bad guys can win, and the bad guys are winning on Earth. We are like going towards chaos and decay, and like we need to quit believing in and practicing authority to turn it around and be part of that perpetual life.
You guys, I ordered a deep fried chichamanga that's vegan. What the fuck did I just fucking do?
What's a chichamanga?
Fucking crazy. It's fucking 9 p.m. right now. I ordered a vegan deep fried chichamanga. What the fuck?
Go for it.
With a vegan cheesecake of some kind.
Where do you order this stuff?
I just had a vegan pizza.
Well, you gotta eat.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I danced for 12 hours on Sunday.
Why?
She was at a music festival.
Which one?
Portola Music Festival. It's EDM.
What kind of music? Oh, EDM.
EDM. Yeah.
Electro dance music.
I got into the after party that I did not pay for. They asked for my ID. I was like, I forgot it at home, and I genuinely didn't have signal, so I showed my phone that had like the loading sign because it was like no signal, and so they just let me in. And so I got to dance. I got to dance from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. the next day, nonstop. It was awesome. And the mushrooms kept me going. And everyone is possessed in San Francisco. That's what the mushrooms showed me. Everyone's fucking possessed here. They're fucking possessed with dark entities. That's what I fucking saw.
Yeah, I get that vibe. Like,
just yucky.
So I was
How long are
casting
you gonna be out there?
For a week. So this Saturday I'm flying back to the East Coast.
Oh well, I lived in San Fran for like 2 months in 2005.
Oh really?
I lived in Palo Alto.
I wonder if we crossed paths in another time.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. It was 2 months. A friend of mine was graduating Stanford, and it was a real good time.
Stanford prison experiment.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It was like around the time that Facebook was getting big, and
Oh right, I remember that time.
I got to remodel some
gave the
dorm rooms in
commencement
Stanford.
speech. We went to the graduation.
They were like 100 years old. They had uninsulated wires and weird stuff.
Steve Jobs gave the commencement speech there, and we got to go to the graduation.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah, I think it's on YouTube, that speech. I was there.
Yeah, that's really cool.
He's a CIA shill, that Steve Jobs.
When was that?
Yes.
More than likely.
2005.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's going on in Israel right now, you guys? Is it a psyop? Is it an actual war? What's going on?
I think Kurt actually had a good meme. Like, he showed, like, missiles going from Israel to Iran. It said, like, our tax dollars paid for this, and it showed missiles going from Iran to Israel. Said
right now,
our tax dollars paid for this also.
Jeff, right now as we speak, Iran is attacking Israel.
Damn.
Yeah, they're attacking Israel. They just leveled like a Mossad base, I heard. You know.
Is that for real though?
I think so. I mean, there's a lot of footage of it. They're blasting.
That's what we're trying to prevent with this apocalypse.
And they're not hitting any civilians. They're hitting all military targets.
Yeah, but every civilian has to go to the military. Like those military don't even want to do that. They're like, if they don't join, they go to jail.
Well, yeah. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Well, they have to.
They should get out of there.
Well, I mean, if you don't, they're going to do violence against you. You can still say no. You're just going to have a lot of violence done to you.
Yeah, all Israelis I've ever spoken to on TikTok have been completely brainwashed. All of them, every single one that I've ever talked to that is in Israel, they cannot speak out against Israel, or they just don't.
They get murdered.
My grandfather is Israeli. He was born in Jerusalem. I can't say he's not brainwashed, but I don't know anyone in real life who's not brainwashed.
Wouldn't that make him Palestinian though?
Actually, yes. Like when he was born, he's older than the country of Israel. It was the British Mandate of Palestine.
Oh wow. Yeah, I got
Go ahead.
one of my best buddies growing up was a Sephardic Jew from Palestine. His lineage comes from there. His family moved to New York and became very successful. They knew 17 languages. Old style people.
I stayed there for a year when I was running away from DUI school, and I didn't even learn the language. I still only know English. I think I'm the only one on this podcast who's not at least bilingual.
Yeah, I'm not.
You're not either?
Governments, as we know, the end goal of all governments is democide.
I think in a lot of countries you have to be bilingual to become a doctor.
But yeah, so this is what governments do. Their end goal, it'll always end up in democide. So that's why governments are slavery, but they're also just abject evil.
Correct.
Democide. Refresh my memory. That's killing of what?
It's when a government murders their citizenry with...
Oh, genocide.
No, democide.
Democide, okay.
Murder by government.
I see.
When governments murder their citizenry by some law or rule. And most all genocides are actually democides.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't want to use that term. They don't want to use the term democide because it puts the blame solely on the government.
Yeah, the biggest cause of violent death is definitely the government.
Correct.
Okay, guys, so this is a controversial topic. I'm going to bring it up because I'm keeping it real.
Or religion, because they work together.
I have a friend, Leo. He is one of my Nordic friends. He's amazing. And I asked him, what civilizations have you seen that have arrived at the moment that we humans are at right now, and what became of it? And I'll give you the good news first and then the bad news. So the good news is there was one scenario where world government was fighting the people of the planet, And so at the time, there was a sort of satellite company that remained neutral. And so there was no censorship of speech. So that's a major battle that we have to face, is censorship. We're not able to communicate clearly, and people are being shadow banned, etc., or just outright banned. And then he also shared with me that they would try to work on getting the order followers to become regiment for the populace. And the populace themselves had testosterone. They were rebellious, and there was a lot of nuclear warheads. They had a battle called like the Day of 100 Suns or something like that. And it was like 50% of the population got like nuked and shit. So there was a lot of bloodshed, but now they have a free society, but it came through blood. And so that's what, Leo shared with me. So it doesn't matter whether or not you believe in ETs. Let's just listen to the content, right? We don't want to care about messenger tone, whatever, all this bullshit. Listen to the content as a thought experiment. We need to militarily, in the spiritual war that we're in, get censorship out of the way. That's like, martial arts, like first step, just like block, you know what I mean? What are your thoughts on everything I just shared?
If we give up our freedom of speech, like that's the last straw, giving us any amount of freedom. Like once we don't have that, we can't share truth. It's going to be complete slavery, like concentration camps, like around the whole world.
Not in America.
If America gives up its free speech, it's going to happen here too. Anywhere, if we lose our free speech, like we're going to lose all freedom. It's going to be like hell on earth.
No, I agree with you, Jeff. I'm just pressing up.
That America won't give up their free speech.
Yeah, because you go after a free speech, and then you're going to get met with a barrel of a gun.
Right.
So it'll be a nice.
Yeah, we can't lose our right to bear arms either, because if we lose that, we'll lose our free speech next.
Oh, that ain't happening in America. That's not happening. They'll have to nuke us, as Passio talks about. They'll have to nuke the continent to stop America to do what they're going to do.
Yeah, but look what they're doing in North Carolina. Look what they did in Maui. I mean, they're willing
Correct.
to do.
Wait, what?
That hurricane was engineered.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got to educate the whole population that compliance is futile, not resistance is futile like the Borg.
Yes, that's correct.
Like even if they cause like chaos and disaster and hurricanes and chemical fires and stuff, still do not cooperate with the government. Don't give up your guns. Don't give up your freedom of speech. Even in that scenario, and it's too late to educate people because it's happening now. I mean,
that's right.
I mean, we got to keep on educating people because it's going to keep on happening.
That's right. I agree with that statement. Unity consciousness. They're good things for us to unify on and get connected with, because when you do that, that's the highest form of love. Is putting.
Hey, are we still doing the podcast without Darin, or are we just talking right now?
Dude, we're totally still recording. We've been recording this whole time. Okay.
Cool.
Svyatoslav, what are your thoughts on everything that's being shared?
Is the train in the background messing it up?
Not too bad.
And I have to change my mic because I'm dying.
What are you eating?
Passion fruit ice cream.
What the fuck?
Oh, that sounds so good.
It's not
what
ice cream.
Fuck,
it's sorbet.
Shit.
It's really good.
Geri's like, you little shit.
He was eating. What were you eating before?
The same thing.
Oh.
Yeah, that sounds good.
You had 2 whole pints?
I had 3.
You ate 3 pints. Hold on. Time the fuck out. You had 3 pints.
I just ordered them and I ate
You had
them
3
all.
pints of sorbet for dinner? Is that your dinner?
No, I had some other stuff. But
Okay,
I can't
God
resist.
damn it. The
I
mom
can't
in me is
resist.
like,
I
you
have a
cannot
problem.
eat 3 pints of sorbet for dinner. I forbid you. Oh my God, okay.
I have a problem.
That's the way you do it. That's single life right there. I'm an adult. I can do what I want.
You guys, I ordered the food. I can't believe how much I ordered. It's so crazy. I wish I could share it with you guys. We should meet up IRL. When's that going to happen, yo?
Yeah, I know.
I'm meeting Jeff IRL tomorrow. Dustin,
awesome.
Svyatoslav, when are we going to meet in person?
Whenever.
Dustin?
Yeah. What's halfway between San Francisco and LA? Bakersfield? Say Bakersfield. I'll drive to Bakersfield.
This week?
I think I could do it this week.
Cool. Yeah.
But I think Bakersfield's like 4 hours for you guys, but it's like 2 hours for me, or like an hour and a half for me.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. I don't know what's in between. I don't know.
Cool.
We'll have to look at a map later.
What were we talking about?
I forgot.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I thought that because there's been a proxy war happening, right, where no one's actually getting killed. Like Iran and Israel have been shooting at buildings and, they're empty and shit, right? So is this one of that, or is it for real attack? I'm thinking the former.
So, yeah, sometimes it's a psyop. I mean, still people can still die in a psyop, but
right.
Yeah, but
people still get murdered.
They are really displacing people and like killing mad people.
Yeah, I got a lot of family out there. I hope they're safe. And I hope the other side's safe too. It's like a us versus them. Like it's a divide and conquer strategy. There's good people on both sides who don't want to kill.
What have you heard? Are people okay over there?
I don't know. I think my grandpa would hear and let me know if any of my relatives out there got hurt. So I haven't heard anything. So no news is good news.
I think it was one of those like false, proxy war type, like not actual anything got hurt.
I don't have a family member in like every city all over the country just because like I haven't had the firsthand experience of having a family member get hurt that I know of. And I hope it doesn't mean that it's all fake and no one gets hurt, but yeah, I know what you mean. There's so many false flags. That whole October 7th thing that started this whole war, like that's a bunch of nonsense. Yeah, really, people did die, but it couldn't have happened if the Israeli army didn't want it to happen. Like they've got a very secure border. Like they couldn't have like a cat or coyote or anything cross it unnoticed, but they're claiming like all these terrorists came in, like, and they did come in, but only because they were allowed to go in.
Yeah, if individuals don't take 100% responsibility for their own protection, then governments arise.
The Hamas and the Israeli army, like the generals, the ones in charge of it, the politicians, like the politicians on both sides are getting rich, and like every war is a proxy war. It's like the government against the government, but it's not fighting itself. It's like having the slaves fight each other to lower the population and siphon more wealth to itself. But like the high rank of any side of any war is always like this whole government, religion, and finance, unholy trinity slavery system.
Anthony Sutton's work shows that in Ford Motor Company and General Electric funded the Nazis, and Hitler's rise, Hitler's power and his money was funded by U.S. companies. So Anthony Sutton, you can look at his work. It's documented. He went through everything. So
a lot of Zionists and Nazis worked together because
even worse, we funded the commies.
The Zionists wanted to have like a theocracy, like they wanted to have a government state of Israel, and the Nazis wanted to have the Jews and like all the people that like weren't they're like chosen race or something to be kicked out of Germany. So to get all the Jews out of Germany, that's like the Zionists want that because they could have them go to Israel and like they got what they want, and like the Nazis didn't like. Here's something I heard Mark Passio say about the Nazis. Like they just because they got defeated militarily, they didn't give up. Like they continued doing their ideology through propaganda, and like they actually won the war. They turned like USA into a totalitarian country. It's hard to say if like we're on the path to being.
I think the Jews won the war.
Yeah, and so did the Nazis. They were the same side. The Zionists, like
they wanted to have their own monetary system. And
not the Jews. I'm a Jew.
I know.
I'm not religious, but
well, they wanted. The Germans wanted their own monetary system, and the global Jewish banking cartel was against that, so they attacked Germany from all sides. And then they blood libeled it, saying that they exterminated all these Jews, which is a lie.
Yeah. There was bad.
I wasn't there, but I think like a lot of Jews did get exterminated. That wasn't. It was still in line with the Zionist plan, though, because they got to get the state of Israel.
The Germans wanted to prevent what happened in their country. I mean, the Germans wanted to prevent what happened in Russia to happen in their country. What happened in Russia was that the Jews took over all of the territory and exterminated all the Slavs and all the Christians and all the people that had the old way of thinking. And so
the Bolshevik revolution, that was like the communists, and the leaders of them were Jewish.
Yeah, so the Jews like killed 100 million or so of my people, and then the SS command, the Nazis, they saved my royal Russian family of royal noble blood from that territory. And if they wouldn't have saved us, then we wouldn't have been able to get back to the Soviet Union. And when we got back, we were almost executed because they thought we were collaborating. And we lived in poverty from then till the end of the Soviet Union, and then we escaped out of the Soviet Union before it collapsed, and we averted yet another terrible situation.
Yeah.
My grandparents actually left Ukraine during the time of World War II because like they had a big chance of like being killed in some genocide, and like I know it's because of fear that like the Bolshevik revolution was a genocide, and like the ones who did it were Jewish. It doesn't mean like the all of the whole group of Jews is responsible. It's
the
like something you could
Abrahamic
be
death,
born into, like being a
that's
Slav.
where it's the slippery slope, because it's like the Abrahamic death cult is a death cult, and can't deny that. And like, even though you know Jews have like an ethnicity, there's most of them that still follow the religion, and it is satanic.
Yeah, every religion, the religion itself is satanic, but there's also like the truth within it that if you use your discernment and pick that out, and the stuff that's bullshit, reject it, then like what you have left, if you do that apophysis of any religion, is you get a spiritual tradition, and there's one within Judaism as well.
Yeah, and all the core of all of it is that they all break natural law. They transgress against natural law. They steal other people's property, and that's the problem. That's where evil gets created. That is the common denominator amongst all of the conflict on this planet. Just because.
But yeah, like in Germany, they wanted to get rid of the Jews because they didn't want the Jews to do something in Germany, like the Bolsheviks who were Jewish did in Russia, and like that was in line with the Zionist plan. They wanted to get their state of Israel and to get all the Jews kicked out of Germany. Gave them like a good reason to have this Balfour Declaration, to have like the people accept that England is giving all this land to the Rothschilds. Like the whole world went along with that because they saw the Jews got kicked out of Germany.
Yeah, that was before Balfour Declaration.
The Jews being kicked out of Germany was good for the Zionist plan.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, for the Balfour Declaration, that people argued that was what kicked everything off. Was because in World War One, Great Britain was pretty much screwed, and to not lose, the Jews from Germany went up to the Royal Crown and said, "Look, we'll get America into the war from New York. Like, we'll run all these propaganda campaigns against the Germans in World War One, and we'll get America into the war in World War One." And essentially, that's what happened. Is America got into the war, Germany lost, the Tsar got killed, and England came out on top with America and the Allies and the Bolsheviks.
You'd say Germany lost, but I don't think the Nazis lost the war in the long run, because the Nazis are just a faction of government. It's all part of government. It's only one government, and the goal is complete world dominance, totalitarian slavery. Like they recognize that, and they were working towards that, and that ideology is living on. It's like we already don't have property ownership in USA. It's like,
I don't think it was really the ideology so much of, well, maybe to an extent, but it was largely based on work and merit, and like true merit, and all this financial speculation and like this perversion. Because if you've heard of the Weimar Republic, and what was going on there after World War One, Germans' children were bought and sold in the market, for sexual, perversion and all this stuff. It was like today we have with the trannies, the trans people.
That's what the socialists are pushing, and that's right in the name of the Nazis. It's the National Socialist.
No. That was the communists, the commies that were running the Weimar Republic, which they stole from Germany, were perverting the Weimar, and they're demoralizing, subjugating Germans there.
Even the communism versus Nazism is like a false divide and conquer. They're both types of socialism.
Yeah,
all government is socialism.
Yeah, but National Socialism is defined by Hitler. He did.
Yeah,
raise that-
international socialism is the communism.
He did raise his economy from absolute debt to the best economy in Europe in a matter of a couple of years based on merit and hard work. So there's much to say about that, and he did that also by removing the speculators, removing the bankers. So he really put Germany on.
Really was behind him.
Right, but he really put Germany on his feet in a real way by getting the debauchery, the speculation, the usury out of his country, and he was very successful in that. Nobody can deny that.
That looks very fun. I can't hear you. You're muted.
No,
This is a raspberry.
He accomplished things, but it doesn't excuse the horrible things he
This
did.
is a raspberry lemon cheesecake.
Have you ever
Vegan.
Oh, that looks great. Have you ever listened to any of his speeches?
Yeah, they actually. I've heard him translated into English. Maybe not the whole thing. I listened to a little bit of it. It sounds like he's worried about the stuff happening in Germany, the same stuff that's happening.
I'm so glad we're all
today
together.
in USA.
Isn't this nice?
Well,
He sounds a lot like Donald Trump, and I think Donald Trump is trying to work against this globalist new world order, but still he's like the nationalist faction of our country. He still wants to have he's still authoritarian. He still wants to have government. He just wants it decentralized down to the national level. Whether it's international or national, it's wrong. It needs to be decentralized down to the individual with self government and sovereignty.
Not transgressing its natural law.
Hitler maybe didn't. Maybe at first wasn't any worse than Trump, but then started
Yeah, but he was all back. He was a
it still led to a bunch of
puppet of the dark
death and any leader who seems like he's going to be good, if he gets to do what he wants, it's going to lead to a bunch of death. National Socialism is still going to want a national government is definitely going to want to expand and become like the world government. If it's decentralized to the national level, the different nations are going to compete with each other and consume each other. The whole point of all types of government is to evolve into total world totalitarian slavery.
Yeah, but the whole basis of it was to keep it as your own nation. Your nation is in control of your work, your labor, and your economic, and that's not what international socialism is. That's where that's all centrally controlled by one dark banking cartel or something.
It should be controlled by the individual. Neither one. No leader of a nation or leader of the world.
But if you're going up against a big cartel and you don't really have the resources, what other thing but unity do you have? You have to unite and under principle you have to unite, but you have to collectively make decisions that you can't you can't just have a bunch of individuals like this big gang will kill all those.
You could unite the individuals from all sides. Like that's what I'm trying to do now. Like instead of picking like Democrats or Republicans,
Yeah, but if you
I'm
unite,
voting against voting by not voting, and like if
right,
more and
but
more
if you
people
unite
don't
them,
vote,
if you unite them based on labor, on work, on economics, if you unite them and start your own independent thing, you'll be taken care of just like Ruby Ridge. You'll be taken care of just like Gaddafi, Waco, and Hitler, because that's the global banking cartel. They will take you out. So, I mean, they want to have full control of the world, and our last real chance was through Hitler. I mean, it's hard. It sucks to admit, but that's what happened. The evil won that day, and the commies took over Europe and raped and pillaged all of Europe and subjugated it under themselves. So
no, Hitler was a false chance. He was another like authoritarian.
No, because Stalin murdered everybody after that. Stalin murdered all the Germans. The U.S. murdered tens of millions of Germans after that.
No, the only real chance is to unite without any type of authority.
Well, it's not about authority. It's about I'm just arguing who was like humanity didn't have a chance. Like they had big gangs, and the one gang that was complete dishonorable thieves and murderers who were the commies defeated the good people who knew a thing or two about a thing or two.
My phone is down to 1% again.
And then we had to start everything all over again.
Well, I would say what the key to this is not transgressing against natural law, and all of us learning that, so gangs don't develop like that. That's one piece. That's why education is so important. And then the second piece, what I see versus what we have now is Bitcoin is a way to get us out of that process. If one takes the time to actually study it. Bitcoin is for smart people. Let me say that again. Bitcoin is for smart people. It's everything you don't know about money plus everything you don't know about computers. That's what Bitcoin is. So if you take your time with it, you'll realize that it's actually got a fighting chance. So
you have a space on Element, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you want to plug that?
Well, that's on Practical Anarchy, so that's where I teach it. Yeah. So I would that's my comment. The core of what it is, it's transgression against natural law, and if two things, there's two dynamics: the person transgressing against natural law, and then the good person not stopping that transgression. When those two elements are in play, democide will always end up happening.
Yeah, it's all about authority, because authority is inherently a transgression against natural law.
That's the mathematical formula on how this planet works. If you have one transgressing against natural law, and then good people are not stopping that transgression, individually stopping that, then democide happens. That's how it works all the time, every time.
Correct.
Hey, Slav Squatch, can you still hear us?
Yeah.
Svyatoslav.
So, about what I was saying about, even the Nazis versus commies is a divide and conquer thing. I think Mark Passio explained it better than I did.
The Nazis were, compared to the commies,
I wonder if you saw the two masks, one face.
Yeah, but I'm just saying from personal experience, from my family, the Nazis were heroes compared to the commies. Like superheroes of angelic with wings and fairy dust.
Communism sucks.
Yeah, that's quite an interesting story. And Steve, moving through having a family lineage where.
Yeah, maybe from your personal like family experience, but like they're both like villains. Neither one is a hero.
No, I'd rather memorialize Hitler than anything right now. Especially right now because of what's happening and how our entire world is controlled by those we let win. And how they're destroying everything.
Jeff, what's your response?
They're both on the same side. They both won, and like I think it's wrong to memorialize either one of them. Like the Zionists and Nazis and commies are all like authoritarian things. They're all enemies of humanity.
And sometimes enemies of humanity can do good things, but it doesn't make them good.
Well, the nations and what Nazis are, nationalism and a strong sense of nationalism in your race, in your group. Once that's taken away from you, then you're demoralized and you can't fight against the hegemony that is going to consume you.
Yeah, I think we're all part of the human race. Like these different like divisions within that, or these different cultures, are just programs. They're made to mind control you. Like races are even like
they're part of the potpourri that is humanity. They should all.
It's a made up way to categorize humanity. It could have like the same.
No, it's
potpourri,
not made up. It's based in deep traditions and lineages and histories that can't be discounted. And anything that gets erased like that is a crime. You know.
But like, how do you even define race? Like I remember going to a school with someone that was African American, but he's also a white. Because he's light skinned, but he's from I forget what country in North Africa, but like I don't know, like would you call him black because he's African American, or light skinned people from Africa?
That's where it begins.
Like all the definitions are overlapping. That's what I'm saying. It's a human construct because if it's something objectively true,
when it begins to become tricky. Is like, you know, the depth, the wealth of a culture can just be erased by, you know, another culture coming in and the intermixing of those cultures. You know, and the preservation of like that original culture, I think, is paramount if it's a good culture. And I think, like, you know, my culture is a good culture, and like, and
all cultures have good and bad in them, and like one thing that's bad in all of them.
Let's not interrupt each other. Let's not interrupt each other, guys.
Yeah, they should be preserved. Like, different races, different cultures, they should be preserved in their individuality, if they really value themselves. And when mainstream culture comes in and washes them away and like whitewashes them, or like mixes them with different other cultures, and then they lose their identity, they lose their meaning, and then they lose their history, and then they can't fight against the colonial force, the Zionist force that's taken them over, because they have no identity. And that's been the whole Kalergi plan all along.
Truth bombs
it's
being dropped.
A shame. That would be definitely a huge loss and a shame, and a psychologically demoralizing tactic. That's correct. Then if that would happen, a community would have to then gather a greater sense about them, which would be truth, that we all stand for truth and we can't let evil reign. And that's always something we can always get behind, and it's always 100% available to us. That's how I would say that, but I'm not from that background in history that you are, but I would say, well, I'm tied to truth, and that's my family. But yes, a terrible shame and a psychological defeat, definitely.
Yeah, like wiping out the Slavs is wrong. Wiping out the Jews is also wrong. But
Correct.
it's also wrong to like let yourself be programmed by a culture because it's your culture.
Yeah, but I'm not just talking about the Jews. The Christians wiped out the Slavs too. The Muslims, wiped out the Slavs too. Like, it's an Abrahamic blood cult that I said in Mark's last when I was talking to Mark before. I said it, or no, I said it after after the class, that I really think that Christians, Muslims, Jews, are all cult members and should pretty much all go by the wayside. I know that's controversial, but I mean that's just the way I feel about them because they're satanic.
I'm a Jew, but I'm not a cult member because I denounce the religion.
No, he could.
No,
respond.
He's got like so many points. Like if I just wait till he's done, I'm gonna forget some of them. Like
All
doing
right,
quick responses.
Jeff's got a pace. Get a notepad.
I
Jeff.
usually
You can
try
it
to
down.
write. I usually try to get like a notepad, but
Correct.
No, on the fly. I mean, I think we're doing pretty well.
Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go. I'm out.
Oh, bye, Dustin. Thanks for coming.
All right, Dustin.
It was good. It was a good chat. Good to hear your perspectives and everything on that. But yes, let's not harm anybody and let's move forward in peace. And then let's educate. That's our jobs.
I agree,
Okay,
but we got to stop people from harming people first.
That's the other part as well. Correct. Teaching and stopping evil. The divine masculine and the divine feminine in balance.
Yes.
All right. I'll talk
All right,
to you
Dustin.
later.
Great
All
having
right,
you, man.
Yeah. Appreciate it. All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. I think I finished responding to something that he said.
I'm really glad we're having this conversation. I've been wanting to have this conversation on the air. It's kind of been happening in our group chats. Some emotions have happened, and I just want to.
Oh, I remember. I was saying that I'm a Jew and I'm not a cult member.
Well, I mean, just so you know that when you say that you're a Jew, anybody who says they're a Jew, I mean, around me, like I consider them like those that destroyed my whole people. So,
You're wrong. I didn't destroy your people. I definitely
didn't. I know you didn't, but like that association is still made in my head. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. I understand you make that
But
association.
I can't like stop that from happening.
I get
Yeah,
it.
you can stop the association in your head. It doesn't mean that it's true. Like I'm a Jew and I didn't hurt your family, and like I think the Jews who did hurt your family members were wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it's like why do Jews have to consider themselves Jews? Why do they have to tie themselves to the cult? Like why is that a thing? I don't get it.
It's kind of I'll tell you, but it's like a personal reason for me. Like I probably would denounce the whole thing, but I don't. I do denounce the idea that like we're like that anybody is like one chosen people. Like it says like in the religious books, and a lot of people think like. Jews are the chosen people. Some of my Catholic friends have told me like they think Jews are the chosen people. I think that's bigotry to say like one person's chosen. Like I know all the religions are used for the mind control, to start the wars, to do all this propaganda, like all this like stuff we're talking about in history, not just Judaism, but all the organized religions. Now, like, why don't I just get rid of it? Like for me, it's personal. It's all about my grandmother, who was like a very good person. Like, I know.
Yeah, but
Anyone who believes in government isn't truly
Jewish?
like
How do you
good.
know she was fully Jewish? Because like a lot of people said they were Jewish just to get out of a bad situation.
Well, she anyway, like I was starting to like look into like some occultism type stuff when I was a kid, like probably like dark occultism. Like some I was talking to some guy on the internet who said he was like a real vampire. He's from the Church of Decay, and like he learns how to do this psychic vampirism and suck out people's soul, and like he said he's been alive for hundreds of years. And I was thinking like, wow, I want to learn how to like be immortal. Like I'll only do it to bad people, like killers or something else. So I was like reading about some occultism stuff, and like I told my grandma about it, and like she was telling me like you can't convert to a different religion. Like you're born Jewish, so you're always Jewish. Just like you can't change your eye color to another color. Like she explained that it's something that I was born into, and it's something that's like has like been attempted to like people have attempted to exterminate the Jews. So like rebel against those ones who want to wipe us out and be proud of being Jewish, basically. And
did she ever tell you why? Like why they were kicked out of so many countries and stuff?
No, she didn't know why. She just knew that it happened, and like she didn't look into things a lot. She wasn't into politics. She was like she was an algebra teacher for 7th grade kids, and she just wanted to like teach kids, and she was like the most selfless person. Just like spent all of her effort for her whole life just helping other people, and like
Well, either it was them or it was some cult that claimed to be them, but they were literally
just if I wasn't Jewish, it would hurt her, and like and also I know there's like I was saying about Christianity, there's the golden rule, like that's from Judaism, and it's from something else before Judaism, like all the religions I know are like totally made to like control everybody. They're made for slavery. They work hand in hand with
so why
government, but they incorporate good things. And if you like totally like reject all the authority, all the bad things, and just accept the good things from it, then like you have a spiritual tradition. And all the spiritual traditions, they're kind of like they're saying the same thing in different ways. They're telling the truth, which is like don't violate rights, like observe natural law and live according to it. But like
but there's a
this one flavor of spiritual tradition which is associated with a religion that's like done a lot of corruption and everything. Like my grandma didn't associate it with that, and like she's not here to like approve or something. I really don't want to disappoint her. I love my grandmother. She's not here anymore, and like I have that respect for her. If I can hang on to something because it means a lot to her, and I could reject everything bad about it, I reject the religion of Judaism. I'm a non-rabbinical Jew. Like that means I totally reject the Talmud, and I also like I reject a lot of the Torah. But I think there's good things in the Torah. The Talmud was like it's considered like the most. They say the Torah is holy and the Talmud is the most holy, and like
and the Zohar.
I forget what the Zohar is even. The Talmud, though, it's a book of Jewish law, and like the whole thing that gives the Talmud credibility is the rabbis like say that it's the most holy, but
There's 613 laws.
the rabbis get their authority from the Talmud
and
either.
They want us to follow the 7 Noahide laws.
Right, you know, like this, like the No More News guy, Adam Green. Like,
Yeah.
I think he's right about it. I like.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That
I think Christianity is something to try to like get everybody to like.
It's all the same thing. That's what I've been saying. It's Abrahamic cults.
He says that Christianity is a Jewish conspiracy to get people like worshiping the Jewish God and following the rules, but to still be like excluded and not considered like Jews themselves, but still under the
literally
rules.
To be food pretty much the goy.
Yeah, all the religions and governments, they're competing. They want to be the one to rule over everything else, and. Yeah, Judaism's been doing it for a long time. Christianity and Islam came out of it.
But I really think it's all one, the Muslim and the Christianity. And
I reject all the religions, but I still just, like, I don't know what it is more than, like, a title, but I keep the label as, like, solidarity with my grandmother. And it doesn't mean that I justify like what anyone did to your great-grandparents. Hey, you sound to know a lot more about Slavs than I do. Like, my grandparents were from Ukraine, but like that doesn't make me a Slav, right? Because they were Jews. They're like, I don't know.
Look, that time when your grandparents were like leaving that place, it was in a very difficult time, and people literally just said they were Jews just to leave the country.
Like is everyone from that place a Slav? No, they were Jews. Like I met I met my great grandmother when I was a kid, and they raised my grandmother, who was born here, but her parents are the ones who came from Ukraine.
I'm stress eating right now. I'm just fucking stress eating. Keep talking.
Yeah, like my grandmother's mother, like, and my grandmother herself would never eat pork. Her mother would only eat like kosher food from a special deli. She wouldn't buy meat from a regular grocery store. She would buy like kosher meat only. Like my grandmother's parents were religious. They were true Jews. They weren't like claiming to be Jews to get out of Ukraine. But my question though was like, is a Slav like a different thing than a Jew, or is like all the different things from that area a Slav? Like, I really don't know what it means to be a Slav. I heard something interesting that the word slave came from the word Slav, because a lot of like
they were
people tried to enslave Slavs before.
We are the single most like destroyed people in the whole world. Like they hid our genocides like throughout history. They have hidden all of them. So like
I wonder why that is. Did the Slavs go around like doing bad things? Like maybe not, or maybe it's like erased from history or something. Who knows? But
he didn't interrupt you when you spoke.
Well, I was named after a great conqueror who did end up, in history. I don't know if it really happened, but he was the conqueror of Hazaria, and that they say that's like one of the reasons why they're so mad at us, because we conquered Hazaria at that time.
Yeah, so there's always something like that happened before. I don't think all of Slavs should be blamed for that. Just like I don't think all of Jews should be blamed for the Bolshevik Revolution. But yeah, if you believe in authority, then you deserve the blame.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a time where, like, I don't know. It's just there's a lot of bad stuff that was committed by the cults, and like they were just trying to get him out, and by trying to get him out, they got killed. And
Thank you for sharing.
They stole everything from the Slavs. All the Abrahamic cults based everything off Slavic knowledge. Like they killed them all and they stole everything they had and created their own cults. But the Slavs didn't have a cult. It was just like the way of the old world, like the good way, trust and peace and stuff. Compassion.
Yeah, if they had like kings and conquerors too, like I don't think they were.
I think it was all made up. I think
immune from the plague of authority. It's like it's been everywhere.
I think all that stuff's made up. I think like because this world was destroyed 300 years ago, or maybe even less, and the old world is being destroyed constantly. Like they're trying to hide what the Slavs were and how important they were all over the world. I mean, it's my thinking that all of America was Slavic at one time.
Is that like is that like from the same theory that the Empire of Tartaria was like all over America and like Europe and Asia?
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about that. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Like possibly like there's like an extra 1,000 years added to the calendar somehow. Like the idea that like the biblical times were actually around 1,000 years ago, not 2,000 years ago.
Yeah. The crucifixion of Jesus in the 1700s in Paris, and his son in Palestine, but he was actually a Slav, and the Jews ascribed that he was a Jew, but he wasn't.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's like
I think he was one of the last like great Slavic gods that could do great things, but they took him out.
Yeah, I think he actually lived. I don't know if he really was the conscience personified or if he was just like used as a metaphor. But yeah, like what happened in ancient history, it's very, very hard to really know like what truly happened because like a lot of it's been destroyed intentionally.
I believe what
but we know where it got us to. It got us to the present, and we want to have a good future. We need to like be educated about true morality to have a good future. And Geri, you froze up. We can't hear you. Why don't you leave and come back?
I think her thing froze.
What thing froze? Oh, her computer just
her computer or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, how long have we been talking?
a while. Hey, Jerry.
Yeah, I've got this short charger, but I managed to plug it in. I got my phone up to 16% now.
I can't hear you. Oh, there you go.
My computer using my Svyatoslav.
Yeah, cool. Would your computer die?
Yeah. Because I didn't plug it in. And I know I'm supposed to get a desktop, blah, blah, blah. I get it. I don't have the money right now, but I'm going to come up with it.
Yeah, you know, Slav Squatch, or Steve. You like to just be called Steve, right?
No.
I get a habit of just like calling you whatever I read.
We should call him by how wants his name pronounced.
What do you want to be called?
It doesn't matter. I could be called Steve. That's fine.
All right, Steve. So, like, you know what you're saying? Like, you have some connection in your head with the word Jew and like bad things being done to your ancestors. It's something like I don't know. It's like it's hard to get rid of. Like, yeah, I've got the same idea about Hitler. Like, despite like he might have done good things for Germany. Like he did bad things to the Jews. I associate him with like doing bad things to my ancestors. Like, yeah, I don't like hearing that you like to memorialize him. I don't hate you for that, but no, like it's like it's connected with like bad thoughts in my head when you say that. Maybe similar to what you think about the word Jew because of like the history with the Slavs.
Yeah, but the history of the Slavs, like, I think is more legitimate than the history with the Jews, because there's so many lies associated to that, the Holocaust and Hitler. So, yeah.
Are you saying?
And what happened? Huh?
Go ahead.
And how like the SS saved my family, who's like Russian nobility, from slaughter by the commies at one time. And I'm very glad that Hitler went into Russia and killed all the Jewish commissars that he could. You know.
What is a commissar?
It's just the commies. Yeah. So when he went in, he really took out a lot of the ones that killed a lot of my people, and I feel that was a good thing. It would have been a lot worse for the world if he wouldn't have done that, because then they would have just taken over the world with greater ease and a lot faster. So. But
well, like apply the same logic in the other way. Like, how do you know that the Slavs wouldn't have like taken over the world? Like,
well, I mean, I'd rather the Germans have taken over the world. I'd rather the Germans have taken over all of Russia. But
no, if anyone takes over the world, it's going to be this slavery for everyone else. Really, the only correct answer is like to have no one take over the world, to like have.
Well, it's not possible. It wasn't possible to educate everybody to have it wasn't just they had what they had, and nobody had this knowledge before. So like, I mean now it's different, but like I just know in history, what I feel was right, and what happened. It's just a lot of bloodshed was spilled over my land, and my people were wiped out and all their history and culture, and then now it's that whole area is devastated. They don't have any rights to this day. They don't have the right to bear arms because the Jews.
Is Slavic culture something that's wiped out? It's like it doesn't exist in any country. Like in Russia, it's not like Slavic culture there. Or?
It's not really allowed. It's the Jews keep it suppressed there. So like if they say, oh well, you're being anti-Semitic by practicing your own old ways and stuff, and they try to suppress all that.
Yeah, like every culture's had a lot of bloodshed, but like not every culture gets like totally wiped out.
Do you know about the Jewish takeover of China and how the Jews wiped out the Chinese too?
I haven't heard that the Jews have done it. Like I heard it was like England or something, but like I heard it used to be like a bunch of like smaller like kingdoms, and like it only became like one unified country after it was like I forget. I thought it was conquered by the United Kingdom and then like got its independence.
When the Jews from New York came to, and England came to help Mao out.
Oh, you're talking about like modern China. You're not talking about how like how China got formed from all these ancient countries. Like, yeah, I know how.
No, I mean, like communism.
Oh, like who's the famous guy like in the U.S. government? He's a Jewish guy with the big glasses. I don't know if he's still alive. He was like one of Trump's advisors, Kissinger. I heard Kissinger is the one who like brought
he died
communism to China.
Right. Well, and he had a lot to do with the Cambodian massacre as well. Do you know that he used to drug Nixon and run the country?
No, but yeah, I know he's like a dark occultist. He's a bad guy, like
Antichrist.
Yeah, same for a Christian or a Muslim though. Like I think you could be a Christian or a Muslim and not be a dark occultist.
Yeah,
like,
but who has the power? The Muslims don't have the power. The Jews have the power over the Muslims and the Christians and everybody.
I mean, like I don't have the power. I'm not on the side of the dark occultist Jews.
Well, you're personalizing it. You don't have to. I'm just saying, like in general, that's what it is.
I'm just holding space for both of you. This is a very difficult conversation. There's a lot of ancestral wounds. There's a lot of emotions. And I'm just holding space for both of you right now.
You're holding space?
I feel the loss of Svyatoslav's people. I feel that loss right now. That's very sad.
Well, it's not just my people. I mean, by and large, it was the biggest genocide in all of human history that we can see in modern history, I guess. I mean, I think there was a greater destruction before that killed hundreds of billions of people here. But what is recorded, that was the destruction of the very last people that had any knowledge of this world, and those were my people. And everybody else was just kind of like reprogrammed into something else and given a new language.
Yeah, I don't want any culture to be wiped out, but if your culture is like mostly wiped out or mostly forgotten by people who are from my culture, I don't want to have my culture wiped out because of that. Like, I don't think the entire culture is to blame for what some of it did. I would want every culture not to be like wiped out, but like even the ones from the past to look up like the traditions and everything. But yes, they get lost. That's what it means to have it wiped out. And like, there's probably more cultures that have been wiped out than like what are existing and like.
Well, it's the whole monotheism thing. It's like our traditions. They're humans were the gods.
I kind of don't like the idea of cultures, but cultures are like made up of people. I don't want to have like any like people just be wiped out because they're like born into a culture. Like I don't like to blame people for what culture they're a part of.
Well, we're forced into these cults. I mean, we're literally forced into them, and they're monotheistic. When the Slavs
cult is the root word of culture.
Right, and the Slavs had many gods, like, and what the Abrahamic cults, they want to eliminate polytheism. They want to eliminate the old, idolatry or whatever what they call it, which they say is real bad, but I don't think it is bad. I mean, I think that people were gods. They had the power of great men, and they were called gods. But this whole monotheistic thing is like you have to obey and believe this one God. But like that's not even the God of the universe.
It depends on your definition of God. Like some people think of God as the creator of the whole universe, or other people think of God as like some advanced being.
That's what I was just saying. Is that that God is not the divinity of nature. It's not the divinity of creation. That God is a monotheistic, like satanic thing. Like it's a ruler that you have to obey. And that was not the way of the Slavs and many other indigenous cultures. They believed that they had gods that they communed with that were people that had great strength and power, and they could help them like physically, like in reality. That weren't just some ideas or something that you have to obey or some nonsense like that. You could become a god
like living people or like ancestors that existed as spirits or something.
Living people were gods. Living people were giants and gods and like could do great things that were godly. And the word for God we have for like a slave master. That's what these cults, these Abrahamic cults and these religious cults, they want you to believe is this one God that you have to obey. But
like the slave master of the universe.
Yeah, but like the old way of thinking was no, we have these great beings that were real, and they helped us.
So it wasn't a slave master, not an authority figure, but what was it like? You're saying they were giants, like, but they were also humans.
Yeah. Yep.
But not all the humans were giants at that time. There were some humans that were smaller and some that were giants.
Yeah, but even the small ones had great abilities.
Whether they're giants or not, they're not God because they're giants. You're saying like all the people at that time were gods?
Not all the people, but among them, there were people that became like gods.
Like, would it be like all of the Slavs, for example, or there was gods among the Slavs?
There were gods among the Slavs.
And so what made them gods? Just ability, like some level of development?
Very high level of like understanding of nature, natural law, consciousness, and the physical world, which made them live for a very long time, have great strengths and abilities, and
Is it something that they achieved, or is it just they were?
It was something
They
they
weren't
achieved.
inherently like that because they're born that way. It's like, is it something that people could achieve this in this day? What you call like gods of the past?
Well, not likely, because we have no examples that we can gauge from. But I think it's possible still. It's just.
But when you say God, you don't mean like a creator of the universe, or which
No, but that's not.
you don't mean like
But
like
that's not. That's not the
authority
God of.
over others. You mean like someone who's like achieved some high level of advancement, who's like who could do great things, like extend their lifespan and.
Yeah, like
Or that's what I've heard so
build
far,
a
but-
city infrastructure with their mind or something, or some kind of like amazing ability, or maybe like travel to different worlds like in the blink of an eye or something like.
Have you read the Law of One? It's a short book. A lot of people probably discredit it.
No, I haven't. I haven't read that.
Have are you familiar with it?
I've heard of it.
It's promoted a lot by David Wilcock and Corey Good, but it was actually written by a research group. These people were like channeling extraterrestrials within the research group, and the ones that were channeling claimed to be like the ones who came to ancient Egypt, and they call themselves like 5-dimensional beings, but they're not mammals or reptilians. They're actually birds, or they call themselves avians, the blue avians. But like they say that they came and they were like just trying to help humanity, not trying to be worshipped. But humanity insisted on worshiping them like gods, and they knew it was wrong, and that's why they left. But the name of them was Ra, which R-A, which is like has been like retained and called one of like the Egyptian gods. I think it's even one with a bird head. But they were saying like this book. I read it. It was saying like the raw consciousness. These beings, they would come down and like they built the pyramids kind of with their mind, but with consent. They would ask like the material to split in the shape of a brick. They wouldn't like do it by force, and like the rocks would grow and break and like assemble because they asked them to. And
yeah, that's
I read this book a long time ago. I have a hard time remembering, so I have a hard time explaining it.
That's high level stuff. See, that says it's extraterrestrial. I'm saying that it was all terrestrial, and they're trying to remove this out somewhere. I'm saying that it was all here.
No, what I'm saying is like what you're saying about like people achieving this level is like plausible. Like I think the whole point of life is to keep on like evolving and develop to higher levels. Like I think like the pigs and chickens, if we don't stunt their development by taking away their freedom, I think they'll develop into like onto our level, and I think we'll develop onto the level that you would call gods, and I think they'll develop into some higher level, and like I think it's the same on Earth and the same on other planets as well. So like these ones who came from another planet, that's the claim of like what happened in Egypt. I don't know if it's true, but I think it could be both. Like humans could have reached some higher stage of development. And we could have also been visited by beings from other places who have reached some higher stage of development than us.
How long have we been talking, you guys?
I
long time. You look different. You look nice. I don't know what it is. Or no, nice is a bad. You look good.
Oh, thank you. I just needed my glasses.
I think it's your hair is different. You let your hair down or something.
Oh, thanks.
Was it tied up before?
How long have we been recording? Because we need to end at 3 hours.
Don't you have a timer there?
No, dude.
Oh.
Has anyone been paying attention? Shit.
No.
I can edit it. I'll just edit it.
You could see when you drop the link in.
Yeah, hey, Slav, Squatch, Steve, we feel like really differently about a lot of things, but
no, I could talk to you civilly.
Me and you feel differently about like some things on this topic, but like I think we could still be on the same side because we're both trying to end the condition of slavery from this point into the future in humanity.
Yeah, I don't see any evil in you.
Yeah, I don't see any evil in you either. Like I think it's a misconception. Like I think you think like some government can be good sometimes, or some authority could be necessary. Like I don't know.
No, I'm just talking in history. That's all they had. Now we have this whole like free thinking movement where like you could be an individual, but how are you gonna defeat the enemy when the enemy is not individualized? I guess through high principle, because their system is based on slavery and subjugation, and ours will be based on love and freedom.
Yeah, like I want to build a humanity based on love and freedom, like for the future if possible. So, like, I know, like, people have done a lot of bad things to each other in the past. So.
Yeah, but it's continuing, and it's just important not to get caught up in the cycles and the old cycles.
Yeah, I think the main way is just to reject all authority.
These lies, like the Holocaust and the 6 million, they're spelled, and they invoke victimhood. You know.
I don't accept that it's a lie, and I'm not claiming that I know it's true either.
It was a lie in the New York Times.
I don't know about the exact number. I know the Nazis slaughtered a lot of people, including a lot of Jews. I know a lot of Nazis were slaughtered in concentration camps made by Americans too. But
well, there's spells. There's spells that are cast throughout time that are just lies, the big lies, like.
The claim that it never happened could be the lie. I really don't know. Like I was not alive back then. If you accept that it's a lie, like you could think that. Like I'm not convinced that it's a lie.
I just know that the Germans took good care of the Jews because they were afraid of what would happen to them, like what happened in Russia.
No, I don't think I don't think they took any better care of the Jews than the Jews took of the Slavs.
Well, there's reports that the concentration camps had better conditions than outside of them, and people would actually go in there for food. Like actual Germans would go in there and get food for themselves.
Yeah, it sounds like the idea of the FEMA camps. Like they make disasters to try to shuffle people into the FEMA camps and say, "Oh, you're going to be surviving because of this. You're gonna be starving because of this, or freezing because of this hurricane or something." So which is made by the government. So why don't you just go into the FEMA camp and give up your gun and follow all the rules and do what they say? It's
well, Well, they were trying to get them out, but
if they made bad conditions to get people in there, they're saying they're trying to get people out of the concentration camp?
No, they were trying to get people out of Germany. They're trying to get the Jews out of Germany, but they weren't trying to kill the Jews. At the very end of the war, when the Allies bombed all of Germany, there were no supplies to the camps. So yeah, of course, people began to starve. But I mean, it wasn't like anything considerable because the Allies had already gotten to them at that point. So, I mean, a lot of people did starve, but I mean, the concentration camps in Gulag, Russia, were the real camps. That's along the Trans-Siberia Railroad, and they just sent everybody there. They sent Germans there, they sent Slavs there, they sent anybody there that believed in the old way, and they all froze to death, or they towed the line with the status quo. And there were thousands of them.
I think the communist gulags and the Nazi concentration camps were both real things.
No, because Spielberg was a pedophile, and he raped to death that girl in Poltergeist, and his movie, The Schindler's List, is like the basis for a lot of this nonsense, and it's complete.
No, it's not. Like that was like I heard about the Holocaust before the movie ever happened. It was not the basis of the
It is the basis of today's modern day hysteria. It has all been created through movies, all of it, and it was largely created by the communists. The Holocaust.
Maybe that's one of them, but it's there before Schindler's List. Like
I know, but the Holocaust hysteria was created by the Soviets, so. You know, and then they further pervade it into Hollywood because a lot of the Jews escaped into Israel, and then they went to America, and then they created Hollywood.
The reason my grandmother's parents had to come here is like they were at risk of like going to those like concentration camps if they stayed in Ukraine, because it was
falling asleep, but I'm gonna listen.
It was like it was a Nazi state at that point. It had a swastika on the flag. It was like part of Hitler's.
Well, everybody had a swastika. Like people of the old world, that was a symbol.
No, but it had Hitler's specific Nazi swastika flag. It was like part of Hitler's realm. It was like when they left, it was part of Hitler's government.
Right. Well, I mean that's a great symbol. It's a symbol of unity and strength and wisdom, all that. And now it's forbidden.
What I'm saying though is like they had that symbol because they were a part of. Ukraine was part of like the Nazi territory. Like it wasn't part of Germany, but it was like all part of like it became like one country. It was under the same ruler. Like Hitler was the ruler. And when he was the ruler, like their lives were at risk, and they had to get out of there.
Well, I mean,
to avoid being a victim of the Holocaust.
For us, it was a good thing, you know.
But like you're saying that it wasn't a real thing. Like I don't believe that. I think it was a real thing. I think like the Nazis did kill a lot of Jews, and I wasn't there. But
well, then why did they have to have laws forbidding like the questioning of it? And why did they put 94-year-old women in jail for it?
Yeah, like there's a lot of censorship, and there's like
no other thing is like that. If it were so true, why would that have to happen?
there are other things like that, like the ADL does all kinds of censorship, and there's like
Do you know what the formation of the ADL was?
the formation of it, or like how it started.
Do you know who Leo Frank was?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's the guy that started the ADL, right?
Yeah. Do you know what he did?
I think he was like a pedophile. I heard the story recently. He
was a pedophile, rapist, murderer.
Yeah, I know they're like a very bad organization. Like, let's talk about this in a minute. I was bringing them up as like an example of like there's like a whole system of censorship where they say like, oh, you can't talk about this because if you talk about it, it's anti-Semitic, which I'm like totally against. But anyway, like there's all kinds of things like they've used that tactic on, saying like things that really did happen. They'll say like, oh, don't deny it, and things that are lies, they also say don't deny it because it's like within their agenda.
Well,
I think it happens to be like in their agenda, but it actually really did happen.
Well, no one said it was going to be easy, but you have to have discernment. So, you have to watch the movie The Greatest Story Never Told. You have to watch Hellstorm. You have to watch Europa: The Last Battle. You have to watch those movies, and you have to see for yourself what the truth is.
No, I'm not against looking into any movies like.
Well, they're documentaries.
Or documentaries, like yeah, there's some documentaries that are true, some are false. Like I'll have to watch it and use discernment when I watch it, but
yeah. Well, they're heavily suppressed. You're not gonna just find them on YouTube.
Oh, if you have the information, you can send me a copy.
Yeah, I'll send you some over. Let me add you as a contact.
Like when I look at it with my own discernment, like I'll watch it, but like I doubt I'll believe it because I think I already have like some evidence. Like my great grandparents, which I barely met, they died when I was a little kid, but they raised my grandmother, who I talked to a lot, and like. I don't think her parents lied to her. I think they knew what happened and told her why they came to the country and everything.
Well, there were very bad times, you know. There were very bad times back then.
But like, if you don't want to believe it, even though I think I have evidence that it's true, like I actually wasn't there. Like it's hearsay, even if it is from my family members, because I wasn't there. I'll look into the documentaries, but even if we continue disagreeing on like this thing in history being true or not, I don't know. I think we should focus on like doing this podcast to try to teach modern day people to reject authority. That's the main point. I think like this whole debate about the Holocaust is kind of like going off on a tangent away from like what we're the whole point of the podcast that we've made.
Well,
not completely, because the whole point is to get to the bottom of truth.
It's really just a lesson in discernment, you know, and discernment's just like a really good skill to have, and I'm just trying to elucidate on certain spellcraft and like certain spells cast and the lies, the great lies of history.
No, but
so that could apply to anything. So
just because someone says it's illegal to say this isn't true, it doesn't mean that it isn't true. It could be true and it's still illegal to say the lie. Or it could be a lie and it's illegal to say the truth. Like either one of those is possible. Just because there's a law against it.
Well, look, I know
Against
people
denying
that
it doesn't mean that it didn't happen.
I know people that are in jail for felony murder because they're a partner. Or I don't know people like this, but like I know of people that are in jail because they're accomplices in a robbery and like a burglary. They got shot, right? And that's felony murder. They're being charged with felony murder now because the cop that shot that accomplice, he's not going to be charged with murder, right? Because he protected himself and that person got shot. So now the accomplice gets charged with felony murder in Florida, right? And I just like to say that bail is $600,000, right? Now, my friend is in federal custody right now. In federal custody without bond. They rejected giving him bail. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, it means like yeah, I know what it means. He can't get out.
Do you know what he did?
What did he do?
He sent a postcard to a female rabbi.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Are you serious? That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, Ariel Ramos. He's sitting in federal custody right now because of that.
That's really fucked up. So
it's spellcraft. It's deep spellcraft to enslave us all, and it stems from that. And it's gonna enslave all of humanity and turn this world into a hellscape. And I just have to emphasize that. It's at the head of everything. Epstein, Hollywood, all the blackmail. They own America. They own all the Western world. They own China. They own Russia. It's all one thing.
You're saying that one thing that owns like everything, like leading the whole dark occult is the Jews, the Jewish organized religion. I don't think it's just one thing. I think there's factions competing for power. Like there's the Vatican, which I know Catholicism came out of Judaism, but it's they're not like working together. They're fighting against each other, and they're working together, but they're competing to be the one ruling everything. Another thing is like the royal family of Britain. Like, yeah, I think there's a lot of there's several that are like competing to be like the top of the hierarchy.
Yeah, this guy. If I could find him on here. Maurice. Okay, so this quote is by Maurice Samuel, taken from his book You Gentiles, page 155. We Jews, we are the destroyers, and will remain the destroyers. Nothing you can do will meet our demands and needs. We will forever destroy because we want a world of our own. Maurice Samuel, from his book You Gentiles, page 155.
Yeah, that's a bad intention that you highlighted from a guy who's Jewish, and He's not the only one. I'm just saying, like, focusing on the Jews as the root of the problem is missing the point that authority is the root of the problem. Even if,
in the control of that authority,
like most,
they
make the system of authority have been Jewish.
They hold the system. How could you not? They hold it. How could you not focus on them? Because it's too painful. It's literally too painful for people. That's the power of the spellcraft. That's the power of the blood magic of the evil shit.
It's the system of slavery itself. It's not the ones who are like holding it mainly. It is the ones who are holding it, but like I don't know. It makes it sound like all of the Jews, even the ones who don't participate in that, are like the ones holding it, and not the people of other religions who are still participating in government. Like you have to recognize it's the system of slavery, or the idea that one person could be authority over another, in like
which they hold in the Talmud.
Oh yeah. The Talmud is a bad thing. Like,
yeah. So I hope you could, I mean, I think you're a good dude. I hope you could distance yourself.
No, Judaism has been around like for like thousands of years before the Talmud. Judaism isn't based on the Talmud. Like the Talmud was written by rabbis. Yeah, it's a religion used to control, like that's what religions are for.
Yeah. Yeah, it's real dirty business, man.
I'm saying, like, the word Jew describes more than the religion of the Jews, that not all the Jews even accept.
Well, the word Slav means more than just, a slave or some guy.
Yeah.
Just a person. There's a deep whole history that was destroyed, and like it wasn't a religion. It was like a working philosophy, like a working, like that was stolen from to create these cults. That's what my thesis is. But yeah, it's just blood cults, and I try to be controversial online, but I try to really be like civil. This, I'm not in my glory days. Gladly, I didn't come to this information back then. When I was younger, but now that I'm able to weigh so many things, it's just it's like the most important information that I've come across. And I've been exposed to it before, like, and when I like, it's just so big, it's so insurmountable. But knowing natural law and knowing like how to behave properly, kind of helps you channel that energy, that anguish, that sorrow, the Jews are like, they're, put into this victimhood of the anguish and sorrow too. And that's like, because victimhood itself is like victimhood is like a very powerful flex. It's a very powerful tactic. You as a victim are excused from, like, people excuse victims' behavior. Like, I'm not talking of you. I'm just speaking in like the second.
I understand. I wrote this long reply on YouTube to this video I watched by a rabbi, and he was talking about a Passover story in the Seders, and he was talking about how like part of the story is like you read about how kids are sitting at the Passover table, and like there's three kids that have three different questions. There's like the simple child and the wicked child and the good child, and I think the wicked child was saying like why are we like doing this, like what's the point of this, and
this is the silly child.
What? The simple, the wicked, and the good.
But which one are you starting with? Sorry.
No, I'm starting with the wicked one because I forget what the simple child asked, actually.
Okay.
Actually, I forget all of their questions. I remember the rabbi was saying, though, that like he was saying, like what he thinks is like the esoteric message, not at the face value. Like the face value, they were saying the wicked child is wicked because like he's questioning the authority, but he's saying like no, he's actually not wicked. He's good because he's a Jew, and I was saying that's like bigotry, like. But no, it was a long time since I wrote this. But like part of what I wrote is like I went to a lot of seders, and I noticed that at seders, like instead of teaching like spiritual information, it's like and like it's what I noticed, like from like participating in the organized religion, which I don't participate in anymore. I've been to it with my family when I was a kid, but like all the different holidays, they've been kind of warped. Like they were originally meant to like remember something from history, but they're all like about like look how this thing in history has like victimized the Jews, and they get like a whiny hood. Like a whiny victimhood mentality, where like they're asking like like favor us because like we're victims, and like victimhood is some virtue, and people need to be felt sorry for. But like I said that's wrong, because like every single like group of people, if you look far back enough into the history, they've all been victims. Like. Being a victim doesn't make you special, or having your ancestors victimized doesn't make you special. Like